False Reddings, Arkansas Highway Police is stopping to see why you're parked on the side of the highway. What were you doing? You speak English? No? Paquito, no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah, let's see driver's license. This is no good. Expired.
No, this is good. In my system, Mexican.
Who do you work for?
What?
Who do you work for?
Loco?
No. What are you hauling? You know what's your load?
Yes, you know. Yes, you know.
What is it?
This is food.
Food?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where's your work visa?
No, yeah.
Where's your truck registration? Who do you drive for? Okay. You have any weapons, armas, pistola? You have weapons?
Yeah.
You have a weapon? What? You have any drugs?
No.
No drugs?
No.
Okay, weapons, armas,
No, I don't know.
pistola.
No.
No? Cerveza.
No.
No?
No. I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. Why are you parked here?
No. This is behind my
English. Why are you parked here?
No.
You don't understand? No? No bueno? Where's your paperwork for your load? This? Where'd you pick it up? In Missouri? What city?
Where'd you pick it up?
Hey, John. Hey, John. Gregory's supposed to be joining me here in about 10 more minutes.
You picked it up in where?
No sound? Hold on. Let me see. Let me check something. Let me go back in here. It says the sound's on. Let me turn it off. Thanks for letting me know on that. All right. Let me add it again. Let me know. I'll rewind it. Let me know if the sound's working now.
False Reddings, Arkansas Highway Police is stopping to see why you're parked on the side of the highway. What were you doing? You speak English? No? Paquito, no bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah, let's see driver's license.
Is it working now, everyone?
This is no good. Expired.
No, this is good. My system. Digital, Mexican.
Who do you work for?
What?
Who do you work for?
Look.
No. What are you hauling?
Okay, it seems to be working on Facebook and a few other places.
You know what's your load? What's your,
Yes, you know. Yes, you know.
what is it?
This is
So Gregory's supposed to be
Food.
sending me here in
Okay.
a
All right.
little bit.
Where's your work visa?
No,
Thanks, John.
Where's your truck registration? Who do you drive for? Okay. You have any weapons, armas, pistola? You have weapons?
Yeah.
You have a weapon? What?
Hey, Colin.
You have any drugs?
No.
No drugs.
Colin, it's about over here all the illegals that they've just handed out licenses to in blue states. There's 19 states that they're handing them out with no name on it.
Drugs? Okay, weapons,
Just give it
armas,
to
pistola.
no driver's test, no nothing. They don't have to know English, anything. They're just letting all these illegals drive.
No?
It's
Cerveza?
insane.
No? Oh, okay. Why are you parked here?
No, this is Ricky High, my one.
English. Why are you parked here? You don't understand? No? No bueno? Where's your paperwork for your load? This? Where'd you pick it up?
Missouri.
In Missouri?
Yes.
What city? You picked it up in where?
Missouri.
And this says it's not from Missouri. This says it's from Mississippi.
Sorry.
So you picked it up in Missouri or Mississippi?
Mississippi.
In Mississippi?
Yes. Sorry.
Why are you telling me Missouri?
No, it's this guy.
You see your logbook?
Yeah.
What? Let me have this. English. You have no drive time? Why didn't you stop at the truck stop?
No. It's in the challenge. He's leaking hiding in my truck.
Who? What?
The lobster starting. The lobster man.
You passed Love's. No, Love's was right here behind you. Exit 57. Love's. You passed it. It's back there.
Hey, Marianne.
You could have stopped.
No. Yes, didn't hear the burn my throat.
English, I don't understand what you're saying.
He's a truck
It
driver.
says you're in personal conveyance. Yeah. Where are you going? To Love's?
Yeah.
Love's is back there.
No, he's here too.
Trying to turn around?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why didn't you stop before you passed it?
No, he must have required
It says you've been off duty since midnight.
Illegals driving on the road.
Off duty.
California's got hundreds of thousands of illegals driving on our roads. New York's not far behind them.
Duty at midnight. Yeah. You've been off duty since 12:06 a.m. It shows you went off duty in Russellville, Arkansas, and drove over here.
Yeah. They're not following any of the laws. They don't even understand the laws.
You have a paper log
Sorry
book?
about that.
Okay.
I'm pausing it once in a while, Colin, just to talk. Hopefully you can hear me.
Why did you leave Russellville? You went off duty in Russellville. Why did you drive over here? There was truck stops in Russellville. No, there were truck stops in Russellville you could have stayed at. You have a translator? Translator app. Translator. Translate.
Isn't that something?
That shipping numbers all week long. He picked this load up on the 24th.
It's like a yo-yo, huh?
He's been driving in PC off-duty status
Hey,
multiple
Tammy.
days throughout the week. He's not certified his logs. For every day.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection, how may I help you?
Oh, yes, sir. This is Officer... Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. This is Officer Mike Eddings, the Arkansas Highway Police.
Yep.
Hey, I'm calling to try to verify a H or a B1, B2 visa.
Just 1 second. Okay, do you have the passport?
He's got a B1, B2 visa border crossing card.
Okay. Does he have a passport by chance?
He doesn't speak English real well, so he was able to understand when I asked him for a visa. And he's got a Mexico driver's license, but no, nothing come back up for him.
No, I'm not getting anything back for that name and date of birth.
Okay.
Let me swap this just to make sure.
I mean, I can give you the full name. It's on the card if that does you any good. But
Yeah, what's the full name?
so the surname is listed as Paul.
He is. Looks like he's good to go. Arrived into the U.S. June 27th of this year. Admission expires December 26th of this year.
Okay. All right.
A lot of these
So you got to return
drivers are from like India and Pakistan.
by using the full name. I
Really
guess.
Yeah.
dangerous.
It's better if we have, like, everything that's on the card. It's better if we have that.
Okay.
Well, actually, there's too many of them
Okay.
to search, so it won't come.
Yep,
up with
another
anything
illegal
this time.
trucker.
All right. Well, I appreciate.
I think there's like 167,000 in California at least. And Gregory was going to tell me about somehow there's a hidden 900,000 actually, just in California alone.
Appreciate your help.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
California's gone to great lengths to hide that they are illegals. They figure that's another 900,000 votes. It's not safe.
All right. What's your address? Hello? Yes, this Officer Eddings, the Arkansas Highway Police. The driver wanted to give you a call, I guess, to let you know the truck's going to be impounded and held until you guys get an English-speaking driver to pick it up.
Yep, or fake names. They make up names of dead people. They've used names for these drivers of dead people.
English or what?
His English is not sufficient enough to pass the test. No. He cannot communicate with me in English and answer all my questions. He's had to use his translator to do it. Proficiency test. An English proficiency test. He has to be able to speak to an officer in English, answer questions in English, and then at that point, he'll be able to drive again. So a tow truck will come get this truck and trailer, and it'll be held until you guys
Gregory, I can see you're in there, but your mic and video aren't working yet.
can get somebody that can speak English and pass the test, and then it'll be released.
Where it's going to be, like, where it's going to be located, the truck?
As soon as I find out what tow truck driver is coming to get it, I will give the information to your driver here, and he can let you know.
Can we send the tow truck instead of you?
No, sir, you cannot.
Well, when the, like, I don't know if it's called, like, the government or, like, the police and the tow truck, they charge, like, 200% more than, like, a normal tow truck.
Yeah, if he was just broke down on the side of the road, I would let you guys call a tow truck. But he's in violation of federal regulation and state law, so we call the tow truck.
So we're going to call anybody to send, like, a tow truck back with it?
You cannot call anybody, no. We will call a tow truck from around here, and he's currently in Clarksville, Arkansas, so it'll be a tow truck somewhere here close to Clarksville, Arkansas.
Okay, so where or when can we know where it's going to be, like, the truck located so we can send, like, a CPL driver?
Yeah, as soon as I find out who the record company is that's coming to get it, I'll let your driver know, and he can pass that information on to you guys.
Okay.
Tammy, with finding him, is a lot of these companies go underground again and come up with another name.
Okay, you have any other questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give the phone back to him. All right. I'll be back with you in a memento.
Okay.
293 Little Rock. You sent me the next large 1011 here. It's in near Clarksville.
Everyone's saying hi to
I
you,
got
Gregory.
a non English speaking driver. It's being placed out of service. It's drivable, so they can just send a driver, whoever you make contact with.
Here, I'll pause it. This is Gregory. This was his video that he sent to me. Oh, it says your mic is inactive. You got to turn it on, Gregory. You got to turn your mic on. It's not working yet. Still no mic. I'll play a little more video. Your mic's turned off right now.
Go ahead. Did you advise Sparkmans? 10-4, thank you.
How's it going, sir?
Hey, how are you doing?
Need that?
I mean, I see it. You're good. I got your record sheet here. Let me get this. See, it'll have a hold placed on it for an English-speaking driver.
Okay.
So,
The way that was explained to me last time, if I have to pull out the phone to understand them,
right.
no
Can't
good.
use any translation apps or nothing like that. They've got to be able to just talk like we were talking and
Yep.
answer questions and understand. You can't speak English to you, and so let me get the information. Copy it over. I told him to get his clothes and stuff together.
I think it might.
Y'all got here. You can take the.
Hey, this is your video, by the way. Can you hear me okay, Gregory?
I can't hear you at all.
You can or can't?
No.
Oh, okay. I can hear you fine. Well, the audience can hear you.
Maybe my volume. No, sir. All my volume.
Yep, I can hear you fine. So tell us a little bit about this video. Okay, yeah, put your headset in or earplugs. I'll play a little more video. I keep saying your mic's not active, but I can hear you. Can the audience hear him okay? Can you hear me any better than me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Put on
your
my
mic's even better now. Okay. So it was picking it up from your headset. So it must have been going from your headset.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this.
I had my headset turned off, but I turned it back on so I could actually hear you. It's kind of weird on this Rumble.
Yeah, it's a little bit tougher to use, but you can send it many more platforms at a time without paying a fortune. You know.
The good thing, though, I can use my phone now.
Oh, that's good.
For whatever reason.
Tell everyone a little bit about you got a new truck, huh?
Yes, I did.
How's that working for you? Pretty good. It's a lot better, right?
It's very well. It's working out very good. It's comfort when you're on the road is extremely important.
Yeah, especially when you're living on the road almost.
And I've had some very questionable vehicles over the years.
Yeah, a few of them that you've gotten through. So tell us a little bit about this video. You're the one that sent it to me originally.
The video is just another example of what we're dealing with. I heard somebody that was well intended, but I really don't believe that they really grasp the amount of illegal alien drivers we actually still yet have in this country. I'm hearing different numbers. I'm hearing anywhere from 160, 60, 90, and it's all over the board.
Yeah,
But the
just
fact of the matter is, all they do is literally and go back to the original time, AB1 pieces, and these work pieces were established.
they're handing
And
them out
go,
like candy.
yeah, it's pathetic. I'm gonna move back so I can be able to just bear with me.
Yeah, I think your signal's causing just a tiny bit of echo, but it's not too bad.
I hear it's kind of feeding, and I'm trying not to.
Oh, they're still
hoping
saying that's still, but there's delay in this thing.
it very well.
Mark says it sounds like a British railway announcement.
Well, let me see if I can be able to get this to actually connect without having my headset.
Okay. You got to turn off your headset first.
I'm hoping so. There. Okay, probably worked.
Chat, let me know. I know there's delay. See if it's a little bit better. That sounds a little bit better to me. Yeah. Where are you at now, about?
Right now, I'm just now on the other side of Tennessee, Kentucky border.
Oh, okay. Hopefully you got good signal. I know.
Yeah.
So
It looks like that I'm fortunate.
You're saying that the numbers are all over the place. That number is just what's in California. That's not counting New York, Illinois.
Well,
all the other 19 states are doing this in.
But Jerry, that's not the actual number. They're taking that 126,000 count, but they're trying to insinuate that's what is in California currently, and that's not true. That was actually the numbers that they had recorded that went back just in 2023 to current right now.
Yeah.
That's not including the numbers prior for years.
Yeah. It looks like the State Department's getting on this about all the illegals that are here driving, and they're overstaying there. They come over to drive for a little while, and they stay here.
Right.
So
Well, they never leave.
The ones that are staying here.
They never leave. They stay beyond their visa. You see, they never were intended to drive illegally. But there wasn't any regulations to prevent them from being able to do it. So the Democrats, especially the reason why people's eyes are wide open on it, is because the Biden administration and all of its auto-carry-ons, seeing the opportunity to be able to exploit it. And that's the reason why you're seeing this 24/7 now with podcasters and Fox News and everybody else talking about it. We've been talking about this for years.
Well, the mainstream media wouldn't report on this stuff either, of all the accidents.
No, because they were told not to, no differently than the way that it was about the cheating of the 2020 election.
Right. And then if you put it on the social media, you get banned or shadow banned or something.
Sure. I mean, they still do it. I'm surprised that we haven't been cut off on platforms tonight already.
And everyone, if I get cut off, it's usually Wimpkin that goes down first, and it causes a chain reaction that all the other ones start dropping after that. For those,
it seems awful strange to me is that the Most Freedom Network, which is Wimpkin Social, is the first one that gets attacked first. And since this even went public, I don't believe.
Orbeez.net is very good too, but their links stay solid. What happens is it bounces it temporarily on Rumble, and it tries to come back, and then you need a new streaming key, and you can't do that.
Right.
You start all over when you do that. That's what crashes it, and Rumble keeps trying to connect to it, and it doesn't work, then it causes the other one to cascade. Is what seems to be
Right.
happening. So you've lost a few trucks by illegals having accidents with you. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah,
about that.
I've lost three of them.
3 trucks in 4 years, right?
Three trucks in 4 years.
Tell us a little bit about each one of those.
Well, the first two were illegals. Don't know where they were from. Just destroyed the truck. And there's nothing that the officers or anybody can be able to actually do anything about it. Because there's nothing that they have knowledge of on being able to hold them.
Each one of them hit you, right?
Oh, yeah. And each one of them was on always parked.
And none of them had insurance?
They don't even have documentation. They don't even know. The last truck was from Canada, Alberta. This young guy had this bogus Alberta license. I still got a copy of it because I took pictures of it.
Well, it wasn't even a real license from up there, huh?
The game is game in the system no different than what it is for our DOT system in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is that they didn't have any documentation whatsoever. I actually had whoever was supposed to have been the owner of this trucking company was trying to pay me $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, however much money that it could pay to be able to keep me quiet. While I'm sitting there, the truck was completely destroyed. And I told him, look, guys, I don't know how much this is going to cost. It's sure, they ended up totaling that truck.
He tried to get away, didn't he?
He did. He pulled away from me. That was one of the big reasons why he made even more of a mess. It's because he was more concerned about putting his trust in the dock store than rather just saying, hey, that can wait. When I told him, I said, you're not moving that truck anymore until I'm done.
And I remember you recorded some of that happening. Like you'd follow him right into the rest stop area and everything, and he was trying to stay away from you and everything, right?
That was one of the others.
Oh, that was a different one.
Yeah. That was one of the others.
And they offered to pay you or something, right? They tried to put you on the phone with someone that was going to pay you or something.
Well, all three of the accidents and three different vehicles, they all tried to pay roll. They think that everything can be resolved by just sending you a check or depositing money or transferring money to your account, and they can be
if they ever even really do it.
Well, they once the wiring's done, I mean, it's there, but if you have a truck that you're responsible for, that you're paying for, that you're buying it through a company or a bank loan, you have to have some type of regular recourse for insurance and everything else.
So what, did you end up getting any money out of any of those things or what?
No.
Oh my God.
And you know what the hell it is that they couldn't do anything to any of the drivers that actually caused the accident.
Now, when the cops come, what ends up happening?
Cops never came.
Oh, they won't even come?
You would call them up, and I would tell them, look, I just had this person, another driver destroy my truck. They said, we don't come to those anymore, especially ones out in California.
Oh,
we don't come to any accidents unless there's bodily injury or death. And so just exchange your information. That's awful hard to do when I'm dealing with somebody that doesn't have the right information.
What about writing tickets up against the ones that are doing the accidents?
Now, they don't write any tickets unless it's involving them.
You know,
if it's involved in just a driver to driver or a company to company, they don't want nothing to do with it. It costs too much money and paperwork and time and exercise.
I was talking with Mark last night, and he was talking about all of them coming back and forth across the border from Mexico constantly, and they're shipping illegal stuff in and out that way.
Well,
Like
I
like
pointed that out.
part of a load, and the other part will be other stuff.
I've pointed that out a lot. As a matter of fact, I think I went live thereafter I got trespassed. If you recall, if you remember,
Yeah.
in South Carolina, that was about as rough as it got. And I pointed out a whole slew, which I could do that here in this parking lot as I'm sitting here right now, because I actually stopped to be able to, to come on your show tonight. And I could point out trucks that are here, and they're here sitting here illegally. Bogus names, bogus DOT numbers, bogus registrations, plates, everything. I can point it out to you. And the sad part about it is,
why aren't the cops going truck to truck over this, stuff?
Well, the sad part about it is that the majority of the DOT officers and the precincts across this country are not following Sean Duffy's orders and enforcing these laws to be able to actually, they know these guys, they know these people, they know who's illegal and who's not. And they are allowing these criminals to be able to continue to transport our goods across this country illegally.
Well, it's also hurting your wages as well, right?
It's hurting everybody. It's hurting you. It's hurting every single American legal citizen in this country. Every single one.
I agree. And there should be younger truck drivers learning right now that aren't learning to drive that you'll need in the future.
Yeah. And there's not enough. There's enough. They don't see the incentive on coming in to a trade like driving truck, and they don't take it serious enough, even for the ones who actually come here and they want to start learning how to drive truck. They don't take it serious enough. The majority of them don't. They think that it's a joke. They think that it's a little bit better pay than flipping hamburgers at a McDonald's, and they have no interest in really giving much of a care to stay into this to stay into the trucking industry. They are being told, and they're being fed a line to say, well, trucking's going away, and the traditional truck driver is going away, and everything's going to be automated. It's just in just a short period of time. That's what's going to happen, and that's not true.
I'm hearing from my brother that it's stopping a lot of independents from starting up businesses too. A lot of independent trucking companies starting up because of all the illegal companies.
What's keeping the new independent truck drivers from coming into the industry is a series of different things. Number one is that the economy really isn't all as great as what they claim that it is, because you cannot get a loan, and then when you may happen to get a loan, then what you are what you're put under is you're put under a very strict and limited amount of money that you can be able to make, and you have to work for 5-6 years before you can build a reputation to be able to get into a higher class of pay and better paying loads. And that is corrupt. If a person is new, then you should be equal to the individuals that have been into the market from for the last 50, 60, 70 years. There should be no difference.
Isn't there a lot of the foreign companies are foreign, actually, from India and Pakistan and places like that?
Serbia, rest of them, yeah. There's a bunch of them. There is a massive amount of them. To be honest with you, Super Ego Holdings is 31 companies now that they have under their umbrella of the Ego Holdings network, which Ego is, as I've mentioned before several times, is that Ego is probably, well, they are a global company, and in the United States, this is their bread maker in the United States because they cheat the system. I've
By
been in the
hiring
system. I've
illegals.
been within their system. I know how their system works, but nobody wants to, ask me from the likes of like a Sean Duffy and point those people out. I could actually shut the entire operation down in a matter of a half an hour if I could be able to have the authority and the assistance and the aid for me to be able to show them this is what they've been doing all these years. The mass majority of all your corrupt DOT officers and your chiefs and everybody across this country knows that they've been cheating all these years, and they continue to cheat all these years, and they lie, and they have been screwing over the public for decades now. And it's just a shame that we are allowing this to be able to actually happen while we talk how we're doing such a great job by taking 132 more illegals off the roads in Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is not the only
Hmm.
venue for you to be able to pull these illegal drivers and
Is
trucks
it
off of
kind
the
of a?
road.
It's kind of a state by state thing, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
California is
unfortunately,
still adding them.
it's despicable because you have a federal regulation. You have the Federal Motor Carriers Association, which is corrupt as hell. The Department of Transportation is supposed to be the rule of law, and the guidance of the federal guide is supposed to be followed by the state. And the state has the authority to be able to issue license, permits, plates, whatnot, and things like that under the geist of the directive of the DOT and the FMCSA guidelines. And they're not following those because you are hearing it to the fact is that when you go to a blue state or you go to an area that you
There's
got
19 of them.
these liberal leftist controlled states and these chiefs that are telling their officers to turn a blind eye or don't do anything with them, let them go, and they're doing this, and yet they're targeting legal citizens and legal drivers in
Right.
this
They're trying to drive
industry
them out.
like
It's
me or
almost like
anybody else.
they want to destroy America. It seems like.
They look, I mean, it's pretty obvious that some people, I think the problem with the conservative people and the problem that we have with very good people in this country is that they always seem to always tend to give the benefit of the doubt,
Yeah.
and it is their own screw up in their life because they would not do that for what happens within their own dwelling. But but it actually does affect them in their own dwelling is when you're allowing this and you're telling, well, maybe they're just misunderstood, or I'm just waiting and hoping that they can be able to come around to it, and then they'll realize, their wrongdoings.
Well, it's
It's
almost
not
beyond. You
working.
can't even believe that someone could be that bad. You know.
I can because I'm the fact is that I'm a realist.
Intentionally that bad.
I am an absolute realist. If somebody tells me that I hate you, and
Mhm.
I'm going to believe them. I'm not going to
Well,
give them the benefit of the doubt to say, well, you're just misunderstood. You don't
they
understand
want to
who
get
you're
rid of
treating.
white Christianity.
Well, you got to, what is it, up to 130,000 so far
Math
in
loss.
certain countries that um, and Haiti and the rest of them that are being slaughtered because they're Christians.
Right.
You know, they
England's worse off than us.
this is part of what and I know that this is off the topic of the trucking, But this is
It's
part
connected.
of the obvious of the global reset.
Right.
Pinning each other against one another. You can't reason with these types of individuals. You
Right.
can't do it.
They have a lot of
It's
self-hate too. A lot of them.
you have to say, I'm not allowing you to do this. This is enough. Stop. And if you don't stop, then I will make you stop. And these people are not doing it. And they, if somebody's attacking you, are you just supposed to just let them attack you and maim you and kill you? Is that the conservative way now? It wasn't when I was growing up. That's pretty obvious. I mean,
Well,
I
they're
am
supposed to
what
be
I was
turn the other
raised.
cheek and all that kind of stuff, But
Yeah, and they say, well, this is this is the classic way of the X generation. Uh, truck driver out here, conservative mindset. He's just one of the he's just typical. This is just what it is. I mean, I'm the opposite of like a Ted Cruz.
right.
Okay, Ted Cruz is very intellectually
Well, that
savvy.
sound. While
Okay,
I have this up, let me play this. I know you know of this. Is about Secretary Sean Duffy.
yeah.
You have got to be kidding me. I mean, what the are
Yeah, that's the driver that was coming back
what?
on the toll road.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
I have.
This trucker came over and blocked him to stop him.
Yeah. I have.
And
What are you doing?
I'm going to play only about 4 minutes of this.
But the thing is, that guy didn't do the job.
I'll go down a sec. Let me ask you a question, man.
Okay.
What did you
You are
do
going.
Because when I have a
in
window,
this video that was wrong?
huh?
What did he do in this video that was wrong?
He's going the wrong way on a one-way.
I'm talking about the actual legal driver.
Oh, because he went to block him, and that's dangerous too, right?
No. That was what he should have done.
Oh, okay.
The first thing he said he should have done was put his flashes on, blocking, get on the phone and dial 911 and have somebody immediately come out there.
Right.
And not move. And make sure that the oncoming traffic is going to be able to clearly see what's happening and block traffic. And then that would have actually hurried up the lazy DOT and the state trooper to get them out there to do the damn job. And that driver did not do that. He drove off.
You end up letting them go. I know what you're saying. Let me close this window because it seems to cause echoing when I have the window open. Okay.
Right.
Hopefully it sounds better for everybody. So, so you've seen this stuff before. To me,
I've seen people come backwards on ramps where I'm trying to be able to get off, and I see semis coming down backwards. I had one guy that was literally trying to back up an on ramp. And when he was trying to be able to correct himself, instead of just finishing to come down backwards and then get on the interstate from there, get on the shoulder and just go. I don't know how in the hell that these drivers are doing this. Unless that they are illegal, and if you're looking at the actual turn, there is no way that you did not see at least one sign telling you wrong way or something to be able to prevent you to go backwards on a highway. There's no excuse, none. Some of the states are very poorly marked. But even the most poorest marked states, still yet, it's pretty obvious that you should
You
not be
think you're
going down
doing it
that way.
on the wrong side of the road, though.
Exactly. Yeah,
You'd be
I
going.
don't know how that driver actually made his way through backwards from the toll booth. That's what really just
It looked
blows
like one
my
of those
mind.
electronic toll booths. So with the, but they would take that camera would take a picture of your truck, right?
Yeah.
I bet you
You
they don't
know,
get a ticket. Now, what about these trucking businesses? A lot of them just disappear when you try to go after them.
no, they change names. Oh
Oh,
yeah. They change names quite regularly. Like Ego and their illegal activity where that they will idle a company and wait for their CSA score to improve and allow their CSA
a
score to allow
CSA
them.
score.
But
What is?
that is basically it's like a bubble, right?
Uh-huh.
And so the more infractions that you get, the higher that your CSA score goes. And when you hit a certain level, a percentage of however many violations that you have, then you start being heavily uh, looked at, called into weigh stations constantly. You don't get the bypasses like we have in our trucks to where we can be able to actually be told whether or not that we are approved to be able to bypass the scales or whether we have to come in. And also to the point to where it can get to a point to where they can literally just shut down your DOT number and you're not allowed to be able to run. So that's one way of how that they try to hide their bad their bad companies and their bad drivers is that they'll take those very bad drivers that that causes the CSA score to increase, and then they will have them to come back. They will have them assign another contract, make them sit there for 3 days, do another DOT physical and another drug screen, and then they will put them right back into that truck with a different sticker on the side of the door
Pat was
and put them
asking
right
if
back
they.
on the highway.
Pat was asking if to take the CDL, are they at least making them read a child's book? But I think they're cheating on some of the tests. Are they making
Well,
them
I
at
mean,
least write a
and
child's reading book?
well, there are some legal citizens that have drove truck for many years, and I have no idea how that they were able to cheat the system. They cannot read. They
Yeah,
can't write. They can't read.
well, I know they got some
Um,
apps and stuff like that. And
and I don't know how that they got away with it all these years. Um, but the majority of the reason why that people cannot read a children's book is because they're not legal.
well, I seen this one where they caught him. He was using his phone. He was like in a video call, and he
Yes.
was putting his camera at the paperwork, and the person was talking in their language, translating it for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had a they had a network that was doing that. They would be sitting outside and and like a van or whatever that they would be in, and then they would have several people that would walk in, and they finally started to catch on to the fact
Marianne
is
and
that
Earfish this too. I was responding to chat. Sorry.
they were being very suspicious that when it's summertime, you don't normally wear a coat. And what they were doing was that they were cutting a hole, putting a camera into their or another
In their
phone.
shirt
They were putting a phone or something in their shirt
with
with a
an
hole
ear
through it, and they could be able to read the answers on the screen. And
into
then they
the
had
ear.
a Bluetooth that
Yeah,
was in their ear, and then they would actually type in the right one that they were needing to be able to pass the test on.
they're cheating.
And they
Yeah,
did that for a long time. Now I don't know
Pat's
how
asking
many
about
years.
why they don't catch them at the weigh stations. Wait
That's
for
my
trucker.
point. That's my point. I mean, they're catching them at the way stations in Oklahoma. Everybody's
Yeah,
talking about
I got a
Oklahoma,
video
right?
about that. Yeah,
They're all talking about Oklahoma, but they're not talking about Texas. They're not talking about. You would think that Texas would do it, but Texas is pretty lazy.
it's a big state
Uh,
too.
yeah, and it's a border state,
Yeah,
uh, no less. See, the so-called domicile. Uh,
everyone thinks these truckers are all Mexicans, but they're a lot of them are from overseas, like Pakistan.
oh, it is. The majority of them are all ragheads. The majority of them are all ragheads, and they're trying to play a little bit of incognito. I don't know why that they think that they can blend in with the Mexicans, but just because they've got the same color skin doesn't make you a Mexican raghead. And they're taking off their hats and they're walking around. You could tell that they're that they look like that they're scared to death just by being visible to other people.
Somebody
And
asked if any of them have ever threatened you. Any of the
well, they're not that
foreign friends?
stupid.
Okay. Because some look scary to me. So I wouldn't trust them. I don't
And I
know.
know how to use it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of the states you go through, you can't have a gun there. But I know my
Well,
brother.
I'm not going to disclose that Smith and Wesson or
Yeah.
somebody is tag along at all, because unfortunately in our corrupt system, oh yeah, that's awful. You're not allowed to exercise your constitutional
Constitutional
rights at
rights. Yeah.
all, because you're in a vehicle, and it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. It doesn't make me any less of an American, does it?
Mary Ann's asking what trucks they are driving. They drive all types of trucks, right? Is it any particular type that they tend to drive?
They drive mainly CMV Class 8s, the same kind that I drive, and they
Is it
don't
like
tend to.
Mack or Peterbilt, or is it a particular brand? Or
Well, they've been getting into um, mainly the Volvos, and and probably not Max. They don't like Max. Apparently, it's too American for them because of the Bulldog or something. Um, And I would say very few of them drive Peterbilts. Very few. Um, Freightliners, they've been getting into Freightliners now, because I think that some of them tried to get out of the Volvo because the Volvo got a bad reputation. They
oh,
got a bad reputation because every raghead out here wanted to have a damn Volvo.
oh,
And
so you can
yeah,
recognize one of the ragheads then, right?
yeah, exactly. If you looked at if you seen a if you would see a Volvo at one time, you guarantee the fact is that there's probably some Osama bin Laden looking son of a bitch that's going to be in there. And he's the type that he looks like that he just walked out of a Jeff Dunham live series, and he don't have it. I'm surprised that I seen one guy uh, get out, and he had this death look on his face, and it was just it it made you not take your eyes off of him, because he was just kind of one of them whacked out ones. It looked like that he could be able to just self detonate at any given time.
That comment's from
And
Pat.
huh?
That comment's from Pat.
I can't see it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Mexicans wearing handkerchiefs around their neck. Muslims wear a towel around their head. I've had a friend who wore his underwear on his head one time because his wife told him
uh,
he talked like
you know,
from his butt.
disclosure, disclosure here.
Yeah,
During the big C, the COVID,
yeah,
I never wore none of their crap.
yeah.
This one time, I got mad at somebody because they refused to give me my paperwork after I had didn't have any reason whatsoever to have to wear one of their stupid ass masks,
Oh,
and
because you
I
weren't wearing a
would not
mask, they
do
wouldn't
it.
give you paperwork, right?
Wouldn't give me my paperwork, so I told them, I said, "All right, I'll fix you." And they was still trying not to give me my paperwork, but I told them, I said, "I don't want to hear it." So I got in my truck and I got in the back and I got me a fresh, brand new pair of white undies, and I put them over my head. And I was looking through the legs of 'em, and I had that thing, see, it was all, and they're like, "Oh, that's not even right." I was like, It's not even right for you to have to insinuate for me to wear one of your diapers either, but I'm not going to do it. So give me my paperwork. I did what you wanted me to do, jump through your stupid
Charles, I
hoops.
bet you trigger them. I was commenting to someone. I
Yeah,
said
I do.
wear
I mean,
Confederate
I
flag
trigger them. I
bandana.
trigger them constantly. I trigger them constantly, and we still have some of these moronic idiots that are still wearing those things over their face. I
Well,
just went through to go pick up a load just now,
mhm.
at Owens Corning. And so I turn on the radio, my CB, and I go to their channel to be able to check in with the guard. And the guard got on the radio. I couldn't understand a damn word what he's saying. I was like, "Hey, your sound is muffled." I didn't know that he was wearing one of them damn masks or not,
Mm,
but he was. And
mhm.
I got back on the radio. I said, "Dude, you need to take that damn mask off. You're in that guard shack by yourself, you idiot. I can't understand what you're saying."
Do you have that trouble at the loading docks or the dispatchers communicating because they're poor English?
It depends whether or not their hair is green or blue.
Green or blue, not just normal colors, huh?
Right. Pink, whatever other kind of stupid color that they could probably come up with. I'm surprised that they don't have rainbow. Um,
Someday.
that's the problem with society today is like these people are in our work and they cause everything to slow down, costs go up. They don't have any desire whatsoever about, like I said, about the new truck drivers. And I understand some of their reasonings on why that they have no desire is because, first of all, they probably got their snap turned off. And, um, we got on that topic once before. And I told them, I said, I think that Medicaid, Medicare ought to be abolished. I think that every type of welfare system that is government related, taxpayer funded, ought to be abolished. And you need
Yeah.
help, you go to your fellow
Even if
man
you
in your
have that,
churches.
it should be temporary. It shouldn't be a way of life for the rest of your life.
I looked at it like this: is that have you ever heard the phrase from anybody? Maybe you've even said it yourself. There ought to be a law. Well, be very cautious about when you're saying that because whenever that you ask for it and then if the government will grant it to you, they're going to exploit it and then they're going to make it even harder on you for asking for it. They're going to apply so much pressure and take away even more of your abilities and your life because you asked for it. You wanted the law instead of just resolving the matter yourself amongst each other, saying, hey, get off your dead ass, go make a living on your own. If you're not happy with what you're making now, or where you're working at now, or where you're living at now, move and
Right.
go somewhere else.
Or do
That's the
something else.
problem with people today is that they think that they have some sort of um, 6-figure income retirement plan when they're flipping hamburgers at a McDonald's.
I know.
You know?
Work your way up to being a boss or something like that. You were
Yeah.
thinking for a while of quitting trucking, and you're not. So things must be getting slightly better. At least they're starting to make some changes.
Well, during that time when in the previous truck that I was in, as you know, I mean, it got to the point to where that lady, she just ran out of money and she couldn't fix the truck. And I
Well, the loads
actually
weren't
put
paying
nearly
very well either, right?
Well, the loads weren't paying all that great either, but you have to have a good running condition vehicle to be able to actually, you know,
That has heat.
make the money.
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's the problem, man. That was just getting right down to the bottom line. I just like told her, I said, hon, I can't drive a truck without having working air conditioner. It's something
Heat.
that actually needs, something that needs to be
Well,
fixed, or several different things need to
if
be
it gets
fixed.
poor
I just couldn't
mileage
do
too,
it
that
anymore.
eats into your profit, right? If it gets poor mileage.
It does. You know, when I can't move, I can make money in a truck.
Mhm.
And the thing of it is, I can make really good money because, uh, well, like Heather says, you know, basically, when it comes to my work and things, I'm about as greedy you can get. I
You
think
gotta
that
go back and read the chats after we're done. A lot of people are being
it,
really funny.
it's just the fact is that, you know, I'm a true capitalist.
Right.
We have the greatest country on the planet
And they're trying to
to
destroy it.
where you can be able to do anything you want, multiple different ways,
If you don't want
uh,
to work much, you can be poor.
anytime. Yeah, exactly. Anytime you wish, you can take off time. You can do this or whatever. It's totally up to you. A lot of countries, the majority of all the countries, are not that way. You can't just up and just decide. Well, I just don't feel like I want to work anymore. There's some countries that will actually punish you and force you to work, or they'll beat the hell out of you until you do. And
Yeah.
you know, we don't do that here in America. But I will say this is that I'm tired of seeing these crybabies complain. Good people,
Mhm.
actually.
Mhm.
They complain because they don't have anything. Have anything.
They expect it all
What do
handed to
you
them.
have? What do you want that you can't have? That you claim that you can't get? What is it? What's the point? They say, "Well, I
Right.
need a new truck." Well, maybe you don't need a new truck.
Well,
Maybe you might need to.
socialists believe that you're going to be limited to what the government gives you. That's it.
Well, the government's going to take everything. They're
Yeah.
going to give you something. They're going to let you borrow it, but
Yeah.
then they're going to take it back from you
Yeah.
because they don't want you to have anything.
They'll
They don't want
own
to have anything.
they'll own everything and they'll be happy, not us.
Yeah, yeah. It's
They-
pretty much that. It's they that that's that is it's nothing. It's nothing new. That's happened for thousands of years, and it's always started at the top to where any kind of level of government, all levels of government and anything are when they use somebody else's gain against themselves to another who doesn't have it. And you know that I've had many people say, "Well, I don't have the $300 shoes." Well, if you want some, then get off your butt and just go get you a pair. Then
they think they're
I think
entitled to it though. That you are supposed to pay for it for them. Look at all the EBT stuff that's going on right now, and
EBTs, you
the
know, snap
SNAP.
cards. And you can spot them when you go into the Walmart
Well, they're talking about
because
they're just going to steal all this stuff now. They said,
well,
"Welcome to jail." You know.
you know, they go in. You see these people in their carts. They go up to something and they just rake off whatever they want. They're not buying that stuff with their money that they earn. They're
Right.
getting it from somebody else's paycheck. That's what they're doing. You know, and I have no respect for any of them. I know I look at them as, you know, scum of the earth no differently than a, you know, AOC or a Nancy Pelosi or a Chuck Schumer or anybody else. I look at them as if they're scum. You're scum. And
Hey,
don't
Ricky.
give me this pity party sob story saying that you can't work because you have 16 kids from 14 baby daddies
Yeah, I know. Or more. Well, the
or
Muslims are
more.
having babies, and a lot of them are getting the welfare system. They know how to work the whole system. A lot of them.
They
Not none of
they're
the dads are
allowed to
working.
work the system. They're allowed to.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I tested it years and years and years ago. Years ago.
Hmm.
Now I I've always had I've always made sure that I've been financially protected. Always. So this is during the years that I worked at Chrysler and my sons were really small, real small. And I got laid off for I think it was about not very long. It was only about 3 months. and I took it voluntarily. You could either do what they call an inverse layoff, to where the higher seniority can be able to take the layoff, and then the lower seniority people could still yet be able to stay in the plant and work and gain their time. And that's one way of being able to not only help them out, but it also helps the higher seniority out, because we need those people with the lower seniority to be able to gain more time, because the working class is what funds the retirement pension fund. Okay. So I did this and I tested this, and this has been years ago. Okay. Years ago. And it was corrupt then. It's corrupt even more now. And this is how
Oh,
corrupt it is. I went and had my ex-wife to go to the welfare office, and I kid you not, in Frankfort, Indiana.
they turned her down?
They didn't turn her down, but now mind you, 2 young sons, and then there was a bunch of illegal Mexicans that were in there,
Oh, they got it.
because Frankfort, Indiana is full of nothing but a bunch of illegals anyway. They have been for most of all my life.
Yeah.
They gave them hundreds of dollars equaling to per week, while she was waiting there, and she was overhearing what they were saying.
Oh, she knew
They
Spanish.
approved my ex-wife for, get this, $14 a week.
Even back then, that wasn't much. So they're telling me
$14
that
a week.
Walmart's talking about locking all their doors and going online only because of this EBD thing, where they're going to rush the stores.
In certain states, I wouldn't blame them. I mean, but they're one of the part of the people who created this mess in its entirety anyway.
Yeah, they're talking about they're just going to go in with grocery carts, and now they won't let you stop them. When they go to walk out of the store, they won't let you stop them now in a lot of
Well,
these
the
places.
people are actually stopping them now, if you haven't
Yeah,
noticed that. It's not
somewhat.
the workers, because the workers
Well,
are reprimanded
online
because
they're talking
it
about
might
a
make
bunch
it
of
look
them,
bad.
like hundreds of them getting together and doing it all at the same time.
Yeah, it might make it look bad. If I was,
They think
to
they're
me,
just entitled to take it.
I
That
would
was
say,
from Glenn.
Walmart is a multi-billion-dollar company, right?
Right.
I contract now with the largest company in America in transportation. Okay. They self-insure. All right. So
Mm-hmm.
Walmart could self-insure. They could own their own insurance company and self-insure, and they could actually dictate and determine what what the rules are, by preventing these thieves from being entitled to come into the store and steal thousands of dollars every day
They
and
take big
stop
ticket
them.
items too. Take a lot of meat and
And
stuff. Someone says that they're talking about attacking some of the trucks like yours and stealing all the stuff.
I tell you what, I looked at it like this: you can have whatever in the hell is in the back of this truck. Don't touch my truck. You touch my truck,
Well,
there's
they'll
going
do
to
that.
be, I'll make you look like, your head's going to look like a freaking canoe. Okay.
Yeah, they're talking about
That's
lighting
just the
them on
bottom
fire
line.
and everything just to take down the system.
I have no patience for that. I work hard for what I trying to be able to purchase. Everything that I own, I earned, and I do not have any patience whatsoever for anybody who tries to be able to destroy, harm my what I work for and what I own. I will
Right.
not tolerate it.
Agree. All right, I'm going to play this video about the Oklahoma thing, but I'm going to mute your mic because I think it echoes while I'm playing it. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to mute you temporarily. Mute. Here we go.
Drivers were just arrested by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol during a joint operation they did with ICE. And during this multi-day operation that they conducted at several different way stations during the state, mainly ones on I-40, They focused on trucks that were registered out of California and licenses that were issued by California, because it has now been divulged that California is one of 19 states that we now know that has been giving CDLs to undocumented immigrants illegally in contradiction to federal law and regulation. These immigrants range from people from China, Russia, Turkey, Ukraine, etc. And
Let me unmute you here. How do I? I'm trying to unmute you here. Oh, it's not unmuting. Hold on. There it is. There's the right button. I couldn't find the right button. Let me stop sharing. So there. So you know of this. You've seen these places where they were starting to arrest illegal truck drivers there and taking their CDLs.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the trucks that are sitting in the weigh stations.
Mm-hmm.
There's three there. I passed up one down Tennessee that there was there. Tennessee was very slow to action. They were very slow to action. I have several friends of mine I don't. They know where I stand when it comes to any type of division in the police force,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't. There's a lot of great people in the
Mm-hmm.
police force across the country. There is a lot of great ones. There truly are. But even they have to. They don't say
They
it,
get
and
orders
many of
from
them don't
above,
say it.
right?
But they are. But they're owned by the corporate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The 99.9%, even higher in some cases, and depending on what area and what sector of state that you're in, the sheriffs are the only go-tos that I have any desire to have any involvement with.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a few in the state troopers division that in every state, just about every state.
Are they letting
Believe it or
ICE
not, I've got
go
several
go
friends.
into
I got
these weigh
several.
stations as well?
I have several friends that's in the state troopers that are state troopers out in California.
Uh-huh.
But even some of them will even admit to the fact is that they know that there's a lot of corruption that is in the police force, city or state, in every state. And I don't like to involve myself very much with them.
Mm-hmm.
Sheriffs, that's a totally different story.
Is it starting to make a difference, or what's going on with them arresting? Now, is ICE going into these weigh stations as well and actually
Some of them,
reporting?
some of the weigh stations, they are. Some of them that they are, but it's
Okay.
ICE that's actually enforcing. It's not the state troopers or the DOT that's enforcing it. That's the issue. That's the problem. We shouldn't have to have ICE
Everywhere.
present,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's true.
at these locations anywhere.
Well,
They
they could
should be
detain them for ICE to
called.
come pick them up, but they won't do
Yeah,
that.
exactly. They should not have to come to a weigh station and take away the resources, take away the time. They should enforce the law. The state
Hey, Mark,
troopers and the DOT service should enforce the law. They should arrest these violators, these criminals, and these illegals, and they should put them into a holding facility for ICE to come and get them. And they're not doing that.
no.
And
And
so
there's a
even in
lot of these
Oklahoma,
judges. You see what the judges are doing, releasing them and all that kind of stuff constantly, right?
yeah, and that's another thing that I am really irritated on, that I have not seen the chief law enforcement officer in this country um, finally lay down the law. And I'm waiting for Trump to finally enforce the rule of law, the real rule of law. He knows what that is,
Pat, what
and
happened there?
that is to give a directive order. Do the work. Make these people hold these people accountable, and take them out of our transportation system. Take them off of our roads now. They could do that in a matter of a week. In a week, clear across this country, we would have to hire tour buses to actually load up all of the illegal drivers that are in our system and
Yeah.
working in our facilities.
There's a lot more than they know.
There's
Right?
a, there was
What
somebody
percentage?
that was,
What
there
percentage
was
of the
somebody that
drivers?
was
What percentage of the drivers do you think are illegal?
there's
5%?
no there's 3.7 million drivers that are on record on roll in America.
Yep.
1.3 million of them are illegals.
Oh, but over a third
Now,
of them.
right. And currently there is approximately estimated to be around 935,000 still left on our roads right now. So
So
we've
they
got a
cut the
long way
number
to go.
down.
We've got
You
a
think?
long way to go. They've
You,
taken off about 350,000, 325 to 350,000 illegal truck drivers in our transportation system off the road to date currently. But that's, and it is success, because when you're only looking at the fact is that really Sean Duffy has not really actually addressed this until probably after the fourth month after Trump got reelected. I think it was about number 4 month before that this was actually
okay.
addressed, before they started to talk about it. And so that's a tremendous amount of individuals taken off and taken out of the system, but there is still a long, long way to go. But yet I continue to harp on this is because they could purge the system immediately and canvass every area that these trucks are at. Go to the shippers and receivers. That's right. Go to the private companies, purge the system, go to the truck stops.
Isn't that a lot of
Approach
the
somebody.
schedules that the people
You
that
could
scheduling the people that are?
They could approach me while I'm fueling my truck, and I could be able to gladly hand them over my credentials, and I could be able to tell them how that
Yeah.
how, I
Even
could
just
read.
talking to you, you can tell that you're not foreign. you know.
Well, I mess around with my friends down in the border patrol, especially around in Texas, a lot, and I have for many years. They know
Because
me.
a hurricane's heading up your way. Are you going to be in that area in about 2 days? It's in Jamaica right now.
No, no, I'm actually
I thought
I'm
you were in
heading
Tennessee.
I'm heading up to Columbus, Ohio right now.
Oh, okay. It
Uh,
should be dissipated by then. There's a category
yeah,
5. Category 5 should be heading your way, hitting there in about 2 days. So where you are,
right,
be careful.
right. Yeah. So uh, I will probably, I'll probably end up, I don't know. It just depends. I don't like going to the East Coast. I don't
I-95 is
like going.
bad.
I like to just stay I-35. Um, I stay in the breadbasket. I don't like going in the southeast. I don't like doing any of it because it's all just crap.
You ever see
You
all
know,
the tolls in New York City and stuff like that? They're going to even go higher to go across those bridges and stuff.
yeah, and the fact is, my deal that I've
Insane.
got with this company is that they pay for all the tolls. So
It's still insane. Then they got to
it is
charge more for the
insane
loads.
because if you go all the way from Indiana Toll Road,
Mhm.
all the way through Pennsylvania, okay, and then you
Well,
go through New York.
Pennsylvania
So you
tolls
go,
are really crazy, east to west.
yeah, you go through Pennsylvania, you go through New York, you go through Jersey, you go through all that. You will on one way in a truck from Indiana all the way to Jersey. One way, one truck, $1,400 in tolls.
Wow, it's insane. But
One way.
that's got to be passed on to us buying stuff. It really is what it's
Yeah,
doing.
that's right.
That makes
So
everything else cost more
it's a form of taxation
to the people buying this
because
stuff.
you're going to have to pay for that extra cost because we pass it along to the consumer.
I don't think so,
And
Pat, but I'll ask. Someone's asking if you ever drove for UPS.
no, No.
Many of those are.
I haven't.
That was it.
I'm kind of glad that I had an interest at one time. I'm kind of glad that I didn't because they are globally they are the biggest. Um, there is nobody bigger than UPS.
Is it a good company to work for? Or?
Well, I mean they got a good union plan. They got a good union. They're uh, they've got great benefits. They pay really well after you're there when you get seniority and you're building
Do
up
they
your
have
seniority.
retirement and all that?
They got a great retirement,
Mm.
um, a fully funded retirement and lifetime benefits, no differently than what I've got with Chrysler and such. And they're they're super. They're really super. But uh, I'm kind of glad that I didn't because you see those big
You're
markets
right,
like
John.
that. Those
You,
big markets like that are very volatile because I mean, you literally. I mean, I know people that were getting laid off in UPS um,
John, I think it's better now than back then. I'm sorry.
that had 25, 26 years of seniority. They were getting laid off. And when the economy and when the market goes in the toilet, it really affects
Them a lot.
the
Huh?
even the higher seniority individuals. I mean, somebody that's trying to be able to get their 30 years or 30, 35 years worth of seniority to be able to retire. Yeah, and for every day that you still acquire those days for corporate seniority, but you have to make up those days that you're off. And let's say that somebody's worked there 29 years and you've been laid off for 5 years. You got to make up that 5 years worth of time so
Hmm.
you could be able to get your full pension and
Yeah.
get your full benefits.
It goes
And
by how many years you work in this and that.
yeah,
John says
actual work,
his son was thinking
actual.
about going to Border Patrol. What do you think of? Some think it's dangerous to be on Border Patrol. I think it's safer than it used to be on Border Patrol.
It's no more dangerous. As a matter of fact, I would kindly challenge anybody that I've had these conversations with many of my friends in Border Patrol that they say that, dude, your job is more dangerous than what mine is
Hmm.
because in a lot of ways, I will tell you that uh,
Well, you got to worry about those other truckers. You probably had some
uh,
close calls with some of them driving.
you have to worry about if you do worry about. I don't worry as much as what I'm aware. Um, I've walked. I've walked amongst gang members. I've
Okay.
walked around,
Yeah.
obvious, really, really bad people.
Hmm.
Um, been, I've
It's
heard,
safer than it used to be. I mean, with the border pretty closed now.
well, I've heard gunfire. I've heard ricochets. I've heard whizzing of bullets going by your head.
Well,
The every day is a risk. Every moment is a risk. I had a friend of mine up around Joliet, Illinois, that was at a truck stop, and I've stayed at that truck stop myself, and he was shot and killed while he was in the sleeper asleep. From a stray bullet that came through the truck and it took him out.
wow.
And so, I mean, so
It's one
trucking
thing
is
to hit it, one thing for it to kill you. Do
trucking is
you think it was
dangerous.
like an assassination or intentional?
No, no, it's just part of just the random, killings that happen on a weekly basis in Chicagoland. You know, it's just part of it. I mean, that's what you get in
Well, that's
this
like
in
being a
this
cop.
country.
Someone said their son is a local cop, a sheriff near the border. So near the border is worse.
Sheriff, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there is.
Who was it? Johnson.
I think that when we're in the trucks, um, there's more of a presence of danger, whether we're moving or whether we're not. Uh, the only thing that I would probably say that is more of a danger when it pertaining to law enforcement, Border Patrol law enforcement, and that's because that they are forced to have to wear a uniform. I don't believe in uniforms. I don't think that law enforcement should have to wear a uniform. I think that they ought to have some sort of way of identification because that is a big target that they are putting
Right.
themselves under.
Right.
You know, and they shouldn't be subject to that type of endangerment. It used to be a civilization of trust.
Were
It
you
used to
driving?
be
Were you driving
uh,
when Rodney King happened, and they were taking all those
yeah.
trucks and pulling the truckers out and smashing,
No,
killing
I was
people?
working in the factories.
Oh,
I
okay,
was working in I was working in my Chrysler factories during that time. See, I retired from Chrysler in 2009. They gave me
okay,
a full pension in 2009,
okay.
and I got out. And you know that
Early
was during the
retirement
time when
payment.
Obama was destroying the domestic automotive companies.
He certainly did.
Now he
Certainly did.
destroyed Chrysler. I mean, it hasn't never even recovered since. I mean,
None of them have.
Ford. You know, Ford. You know, they diverged out into the. You know, they really went deep into the foreign market for only re-importing. You know, so-called American-made vehicles, which they're really not. I mean, even my Challenger's not even an actual American vehicle. It was built in Brampton, you know, Canada. So, um, you know, so I'm my Kia that I got Heather. That Optima is more American than what what my Challenger is
Hmm.
because it's built in the South. So
Well, a lot of stuff was
manufactured
being
machine
built
and
across the
assembled.
border in Mexico too for a while, and Canada. Now Trump's right, bringing a lot of that back.
Trump's right
So
about bringing all of it back,
yeah,
all of it. You know, we don't need. You
the
know, at one
chips,
time,
the chips are a big thing too. We don't want China controlling all the chips. So
well, the grade of chip, the type of chip, the grade of chip.
yep,
I don't want to say it too fast.
chip. Yeah.
Um, you know that is it's critical because basically the chips are going into AI,
Hmm.
and you know,
They
and
can hide
this is
programs and that and stuff, and they can have the
yeah,
ability to turn them off if they want to. They could shut us down if they control them.
you know,
So
AI to me. It,
it's
here's
scary, but
here's the
it's and so you want to be the ones to control it. You don't want them to control
right. So my theory on AI
it. Hmm.
is that you know AI has been here for a very very long time. They have just been trying to be able to bring it out in a way that is less scary, but at any point it's still a very uneasy thing for them to be able to try to explain. Even AI cannot fully function on self-reliant. Everything from the beginning of its inception was created from one individual
A
and
human.
a human being. So the characteristics of any AI is from a man or a woman, a human being, from their thought. And
I'm
and
laughing
and
at a
the,
comment.
and the fact is that hey, look, I mean, uh,
That's a good
anything
one.
created by man decays over time. And this AI, you know, thought to think that this is what's going to happen for the rest of your life. It's going to be the demise. Some even saying it's the Antichrist, which I heard
I
somebody.
put this up here so you could get a good laugh too. This is from Pat. Trump should put
Yeah,
a golf course at the White House lawn when he's done with the ballroom. Imagine the meltdowns by the left.
oh, I think that I think that he ought to make a permanent residence on the top floor, just like Trump Tower. I think it would be I think it'd be great. Um,
I never seen him get a melt. We're not even paying for it as tax dollars. It's all by donations and stuff. So,
you know, Donald Trump is the greatest troll that God has ever created on earth. He's so good at it. You know, my dad was really good at it too. That's one of the things several years ago now. I had, well,
Good one, Pat.
right around late 15, I told several people of very good people of mine. I said, you know, Donald Trump reminds me,
He's pretty
he's
smart
more,
about it.
well, he reminds me so much of my dad, because my dad had when it came to business, you didn't mess with him. But at the same time, he was so respectful. It was kind of like a magnet. Everybody, once you got to really, I mean, even the ones that claim that they don't like him, like him. You know, it really it's and I think that you're going to start seeing this, and I think you pay very close attention to John Fetterman, even that leftist. He has this. He's like, well, you know,
John, they'll have it done quicker in 4 years. They'll have that ballroom done in less than 4 years.
oh, you know, the ballroom will probably be
2
done.
years.
I bet you almost anything that ballroom at 90,000 square foot ballroom will be done in less than 24 months.
Yeah, 2 years. I think so. Trump gets things
I
done.
think
Look at that.
I would probably
Did you
say
see that
18
ice thing
months.
in New York City? They were trying to put in a skating thing for all the people in New York City, and they wasted millions of dollars for years. And Trump went in there and did it in a few months.
Yeah, an ice skating rink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot exactly what it was, ice skating rink or whatever. So
Now the ice skating rink in New York, you know, they dumped millions upon millions of dollars, and I think that they worked on that thing for 7, 8 years, maybe even longer.
yeah.
And
Oh, it was years. And
Trump
millions of
went
dollars
to
wasted.
yeah, Trump
Well,
went to
in California, they were supposed to put the speed rail in, and they spent billions of dollars. Not 1 foot of rail was ever put down. So
right.
Trump canceled the money that's getting sent to it.
Well, it's about damn time. I mean, that rail system out there, that's high speed rail system in California. I've been through that area. I see that they have maybe 60 feet. That's it.
Well, I heard
I
there's
mean,
not 1 foot done of it. I don't know.
yeah, they just literally just have maybe 60 feet. That's it. It looks like a stump.
It wasn't
I
worth the
mean,
billions of dollars they spent on it. That's for sure.
but it was on autopilot. These
Yeah.
people were getting, I mean, the governor of California, Newsom, was getting this money. Well, no wonder he had, the money to be able to spend. What was it, $18 million on his new home
Yeah.
in San Francisco?
Yeah. Not millions and millions. It was more than 18, I think. A lot more than that. But there's a new government building built out there. But before it gets too late, I want to make sure I bring this up about the transportation secretary, what he's doing about this whole trucking and license things. I'm gonna have to mute you again because it echoes otherwise.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. All right, here we go.
That's why under President Trump's leadership, we have launched a nationwide audit of non-domiciled CDLs to get to the bottom of what we think is causing this crisis. We've heard from truckers and safety advocates and news reports that something was seriously wrong. It was alleged that the open border policies of the last administration has led to an exploitation of our nation's trucking licensing system. So today, I'm here to tell you after our audit that those reports, they're all true. What our audit has already discovered should anger every single American. So here's what we've learned. We just want to walk through it. First, our audit revealed a systemic breakdown among states to follow the law and issue licenses properly. States are failing to follow even the most basic procedures. We even uncovered widespread procedural errors, computer programming flaws, and a gross lack of oversight in the states that issue CDLs. This means that thousands of licenses that should never have been issued actually were issued. States are issuing licenses that extend months and even years beyond a driver's lawful presence in the U.S. This is a direct incentive to stay in our country illegally beyond their authorized work permit. They have driver's licenses. So in some disturbing cases, they have failed to validate a driver's lawful presence before handing them a commercial license. It's deeply disturbing, but even worse. Our second finding was that the current federal regulations are allowing dangerous, unqualified drivers on American roadways. This means that even when the rules are being followed, dangerous individuals who shouldn't be near a big rig are getting behind the wheel and causing crashes on our roadways. Eligibility requirements are deeply flawed and they're way too broad. They are simply not strong enough to prevent more of these horrific crashes from occurring in America.
Let me move that and then I'll unmute you. Try to unmute you. What the heck? There it goes. Okay.
I have to unmute it.
Oh,
apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wish that I had the opportunity to pull him off to the side and say, Sean, what the hell?
Well, they're starting to pull some of the licenses, right? Can the federal government pull someone's license?
Non-domicile licenses are illegal when it pertains to a federal motor carrier's license, a federal license. My CDL is a commercial motor vehicle license. It's federal. It's a federal license. It's not state. State issues them in each corresponding state that you live in, but they are still federal. And the federal government has the authority to be able to eliminate the so-called non-domicile license. The states created the non-domicile license for CRST. That is a company in the South. And when they created that, they did it for the purpose of HB1 visa holders to use them because they were being raped on how much money that it cost them. Because at the time, because if you had a CDL, a newcomer that was coming into the trucking company, they had to transport that truck to the state, and that person that was the HB1 visa holder could only drive in that state. So the only way to get that truck into the state was to transport the truck into that state, wherever it may happen to be in the lower 48. And they had to only allow those non-domiciled drivers to drive in that state only. And that's where the non-domicile license was created. They did it for a favor. The FMCSA allowed them to be able to do that. And then they exploded and it exploited it and allowed everybody to just come into the country, give them a free license, no certification, no legal authority to actually obtain them. And now you've got to the point to where we reached over 1.3 million of them across the country, and they're killing people now to a point to where they don't care.
Federal government pull a state license?
Yes, because if it's pertaining to the federal government and the FMCSA, the Federal Motor Carriers Association, they have the full authority. Sean Duffy has the full authority with the DOT, the Department of Transportation, to do whatever that he wishes to eliminate immediately the non-domiciled driver.
Okay,
But
so he can do it
why hasn't he done it?
one-on-one. He can't do it across the board. He has to do it kind of one-on-one.
Yes, he can. He can give a direct order effective immediately by directive of his authority to eliminate every non-domiciled issued in every state, he has the full authority of protocol and he has a full duty to do it as well. And that is to officially eliminate from this moment forward the non-domiciled license in every issuing state. Every issuing state, he could do it, but he hasn't done it. And I have
Yeah.
no idea why the hell that he hasn't done it. Maybe
Well,
he's
don't
not
they won't they
aware
think
of it.
they're gonna be saying you're taking out black and brown people and racists?
Now, who
And
cares? They're illegal.
yeah,
If you have to have
I
a
don't care, but that's what
non-domiciled
they'll do.
license, if you have to have a non-domiciled license, then you're here illegally.
Yeah,
You're
I
here
agree.
illegally. If you're here legally during the 3 years that you're allowed under the visa program to be here, you should not be allowed, first of all, to ever have this so-called non-domiciled license that was created out of thin air as a favor
Mhm.
for a trucking company to be able to survive, because their trucking company, even to this day, is so crappy that they can't even keep anybody in their company as it is even today, as what it was even then. And they created, this is the reason why that these trucking companies have created
Exactly,
these
Charles. So I
these
was
these
asking.
schools. You can go to school, right? You can go to these trucking companies like
Yeah, yeah.
CRST.
They give
CRST
tests
was the
like
first
no,
company.
yeah.
Huh?
I seen some of the tests they give them. Oh, can you start it up? Can you move it forward? Can you back it up? Okay, you're passed. You know, like nothing.
Yeah, there's some of them that don't even require that. There's some of them that are literally being handed the license, the approval, the certificates,
You
and
hand them
they
enough
didn't
money,
even
you get
take
the
the
license.
test.
If you hand them enough money, you get the license, right?
Keep this in mind. Every single person that goes through their schooling, okay,
Mhm.
everyone, there is a subsidy that averages between 43, depending on what state, between 43 and $67,000 each that the federal government will issue to that school or that trucking company who owns the school. And that's the reason why they have so many people that they say that we have a driver shortage, which we do not.
Mhm.
We have a corruption implosion. That's what we've got. That's what they
Amazing.
get. They get $43,000 to $67,000 per student that
Wow.
goes through a school. A subsidy.
Well, and that's coming from our tax dollars.
Yes, the
We're paying.
federal government pays these private companies to hire and to school every 2 weeks when these
It's a lot,
so-called
even if you
professional
were
trained
hiring
drivers.
Americans to go to these schools. It's even galls me more that there are illegals doing that.
Well, the fact is that you've got these kids, you've got these newbies, you got these, these kids out here that don't want to drive these trucks. So they use the system for the non-domicile and the illegals that are here that shouldn't be in these trucks, and they're
Why don't
using them
the young
to be able
want to
to make the
drive? I
money
don't get it. I don't know why the young don't want to drive. It's because they can get
because it's
free
called,
welfare money too easily and stuff like
no,
that.
Jerry, it's because it's not it's not a computer. It's called work.
Yeah,
That's why.
they brought up lazy.
Yeah, well, they were handed everything, and then
I
they
used to
look at
work on
things and
farms.
they're like, "Why do I need to put the effort into it? I could just be able to just make my money by
I sell my
trying to
necklace.
scam people on Webkin for selling them Bitcoin."
Yeah. Oh, they're pushing that, the Bitcoin stuff and
Yeah,
all that. I'm not
that's
into it.
annoying. It's
Yeah.
about as annoying as all the whores and all the bots and everybody that's coming on
Oh,
Webkin.
lately there's been a wave of that.
It, it's it's
I just
getting it's
ignore them.
getting it's getting utterly ridiculous.
I ignore them pretty much. Yeah. So,
I get tired of having to delete them.
oh, I usually accept the friends because I don't even look at who's friending me, and then if they
Well,
send,
you're probably accepting a lot of bots.
maybe, probably I don't know. They're probably I'm sure they're fake or whatever. They always say
Yeah.
hi or something like that. Then I delete it. If they start out.
Oh yeah. Wait, they
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I came across your thing and you look great or something like that. Okay, forget about it.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh great, here's another one. They all start out the
Well, that,
same
it
way.
tells you what they are. They're
Yeah, they
living
all
in the
start out the same way, don't they? It's
pretty
like
much something similar.
I'm
Yeah,
like, you look like you're about 18.
yeah.
Uh, I'm
They,
50.
it's probably some
I'm
dude over in South Africa. Behind the
Yeah,
computer.
wherever that it's
Listening.
from, if it's even real.
Yeah,
Uh, it, and I've got no interest in that. I
yeah.
don't,
I want a real
I
person.
say,
Anyways,
well, where are you from? Where are
yeah,
you from?
they
You
always ask
friended
that.
me. You
Yeah,
friended me, but
and it's right on
you
my
didn't
page
look
where
at
I'm
my
from.
profile. You
Yeah.
didn't see, you
Well,
didn't
sometimes
see
I'll send my Facebook link because
anything.
it's got all my info on that.
Yeah.
So
You didn't look at my profile. You didn't see anything. You didn't
yeah,
see my name. You're asking me my name. Where am I from? And
yeah,
everything else. Hey,
yeah.
you idiot. I'm
And
not
because they're trying to get
stupid.
conversation going before. Usually, it comes down to them asking you for money or something like that, or other info where they can use it to get a lot of your info, so they can get into your banking or something. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with with China. I think it
Yeah,
has a lot to do with
somewhat.
China.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, a lot of those
and
bot family. There was some cafes down in South Africa where they were doing it from. A lot of them when they were tracked before, where they were a lot of the scams were coming from. They were from
right.
South Africa. There's cafes. They don't want to be tracked, so they'll go to a cafe and order coffee or something like that, and they'll sit there on their laptop and do this. They're trained to do that, but they don't want
Yeah.
to be on their own IP, So they want to
Now,
be on that
see
Wi-Fi.
there's your answer. I mean, that's the reason why we don't have those people actually driving trucks.
Yeah.
We have them actually doing that.
Well, those ones were in South Africa, but anyways, yeah. The
I mean,
young,
well, we got South
a lot of the
Africans that are
young
driving trucks up
people
here.
at work, they think they're going to play Nintendo games all their whole life and live in their parents' basements, right? Yeah.
I've seen some crazy things in trucks too. I mean, I've watched guys playing PlayStation on their on their tablet or whatever, when they're
Uh,
driving down the highway.
while
You know,
driving?
yeah.
Oh my God, that's insane. That's
There's
scary.
all different kinds of things that would just totally just freak you out if you've seen some of the things that I see out here on a daily basis, and
Oh, here's a
it's
good one
quite
for you.
quite
I'm going to show you this one. I want to make sure I got to this one too. It's real short, but maybe you've seen this one. Here, we'll mute you again. Here, let me. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Nobody in this truck. There's legit nobody in this fucking truck. This guy's truck just rolled into the middle of into Route 90. Buddy, is that your truck? No? Oh, it's his truck. Look at him.
Tall head.
Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Well, well.
Let me stop sharing. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You've seen stuff like that, huh? How in
All
hell
the
do you
time.
not put the parking brake on?
With these trucks, that's the other thing that I have a massive issue
That was
with.
another towel head.
Now, I really like, yeah, it is, and it's typical. I really like this truck with the automatic transmission. Volvo has perfected a seamless, I mean, just amazing 12-speed automatic. It's great.
Automatic. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, don't they
and
have a park on that?
they do actually have to. Um,
Okay.
and or it will roll. Um,
But
but
you
the
still
thing
have
is,
air brakes you can put on, right?
yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. It's what you're really supposed to do. Every time when you need to get out, you set the brakes. It's what you call setting the brakes. You're
Yeah.
applying the
Which is
brakes.
letting the air out of the brakes, and that puts them
Yeah,
on.
and it turns them on. Yes. Um, and I think that they use the term fuel
Right, guys.
mileage. They use the term so-called fuel mileage. But what they've done is that they tried to do this back in the 80s, okay, and with the automation.
And they've been trying to do this for a long time based upon one reason, and they don't want to be honest with it. But the fact is that automatics are only meant for putting somebody, a warm body, in behind a wheel. You know, you have to in a manual transmission in a truck.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my most favorites are the 18-speed manuals. I've drove 21 speeds, 15 speeds, 9 speeds, 10 speeds, and my most favorite is the 18. And I can either
with a gear splitter in that.
Yeah, it's got splitter 18s, 15s, and 15s, 18s,
I drove it a
and
little
21s.
bit.
15, 18, and 21 are split, and 10 speeds are split too, but they only have a main split, as I call them, a main split. They don't have a half gear splitter. And what I call half gear is that there is a high low on each high end and low
it's right
end
on
of
the
every
knob on
gear.
the thing.
Yeah. And so I like the 18 because I like any manual, is because it makes you and forces you to focus
on your
on the truck.
Yeah.
On the truck. And the automatics, these people, you could take a 10-year-old and put them in one of these trucks, and they can be able to move it.
Yeah, they can learn pretty quick too.
Yeah. And to put them in a truck that has an 18 speed, they don't know how to do it. And
I don't have a license, but I have driven one. So
yeah, I mean, so I'm
expressway.
I'm against being forced into. I can get a manual. I could probably get this company to let me get into, or they can be able to get a manual truck, a new manual truck. I could be able to get a new manual truck if I really push really hard on it. But I don't, because frankly, I don't want to. I don't want to mess with it. So this really works out really well for me now. You never forget.
Your left foot twitchy without having the clutch in?
Oh my gosh!
At first?
I think I went for the first 6-7 months after I got on my 18 speed. See, the first constant thing I do is when I'm getting ready to jump back in the seat. The first thing I do is, the moment that I'm halfway underneath the seat, I take my left foot and I put it down on the clutch.
Yeah.
And I like to about broke my foot, half a dozen times, because I was so used to doing that repetitively.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it is better.
Where's the pedal?
Not having to shift the gears when you get into inner city type driving, right?
I got used to it. I just it didn't bother me.
A real stiff clutch too, especially when you just redo the clutch and that kind of stuff.
Some of them used to be, my 567 Pete that I had with the 18, or the 579 that I had. Those were hydraulic
I just
clutches.
ignore them. Sorry,
those were hydraulic clutches, so they are super easy. So they've got a really soft pedal on them. And what the nice things about the hydraulic clutches is that you only have to depress the clutch maybe about a quarter of the way to be able to get it to release off the pressure plate.
Gear. Oh, okay.
And you could take one finger and just went click click. And it's just.
Have you ever had a hydraulic clutch that was like leaking fluid and you really had to push really hard to push it down?
Well, if they're leaking fluid, then you're not disengaging that clutch, and you ain't going to go back very far.
I had to move Skeets a little bit because he had to have it worked on, and it was leaking fluid, and there wasn't much clutch there, and you really had to push on the hard.
That's right. Yeah,
because it was you wanted to grind gears too and stuff to put it in.
Yeah, because see what happens is that
it's not
brake
releasing
clutch.
that brake doesn't clutch doesn't
Totally release.
pull away, and pull away from the pressure plate, and
And so
the,
this doesn't slow down enough because it's synchronized gears, So it's got to get
it's a
down to a certain speed.
non-synchronized it's a non-synchronized transmission. It's in your
Mhm.
car. It's like my Challenger, my 6 speed. You have no alternative than to depress the clutch.
Mhm.
The only time I used a clutch in a truck, and that is to either take off or stop.
Mhm.
That's it.
Mhm.
And once I get it rolling, I never touch the clutch. And you can skip gears, you can do all that.
Oh, you're able
Whatever.
to just let off the gas and shift?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing.
Because of synchronized ones. Yeah.
Synchronized are to where you're forced into having. If you don't depress the clutch on a synchronized transmission in a car
Yeah.
or a pickup truck, you'll tear the transmission all to hell.
Oh.
But if you are in a big truck, they are not synchronized,
Yeah, and
and so you have to be the one that has that timing to
Yep.
when you put it in the gear.
My brother's had a
And
couple there where he kind of double clutches. He pushes it down, lets it up a bit, and down again. I don't know what
there's a
that.
lot of drivers. There's even companies out there that demand that you have to, even the DOT regulations. You're supposed to double clutch your transmission. I'm not doing that. I like my foot, I like my leg, and I like my knee,
Mhm.
and I like my clutch.
Yeah.
And 99.9% of the drivers out here who are professional shifters, as I like to call them, do not use their clutch.
Mhm.
Only the diehard company diehards out there are the ones that actually, I'm Mr. Company. I was like, whatever, you can go and tear up
Mhm.
your knee all you want. I don't really care. You can tear your truck up. I don't care. Double
Mhm.
clutching is waste of time, and it is abusive to your body and your truck, and it should not be done. I don't agree with it. The government's the one that wants you to do it. Forget that. They all know that we don't do it, and they know that it saves the truck and it saves you.
Right.
And so I don't. I think that all these trucks need to go back to manual.
Do you think there'll
I think
be computer drivers in the future, like no drivers, and tractor trailers eventually have computer driving? I wonder if they'll
no,
ever jackknife on the ice and all that kind of stuff.
no. You'll never see a truck that is an automated truck. You'll never see a truck out on the highway in bad weather. You'll never see it.
Yeah.
Um, you know, they will. They expect that truck. They don't even care if that truck will set for 3 months. They will not ship that load in adversity weather. They will not allow that vehicle to move. It will not move. It will only move in good weather, and they will never be successful in fully implementing in fully automated vehicles. They won't do it. Never. They will not do it. One of the reasons why is because it is an impossibility for an automation of any kind in this type of environment
To see the road conditions.
to be able to get into a lot of these areas, roadways and locations,
Mhm.
that an automation cannot be able to see or manage to be able to get into. They cannot do it. It takes a skilled individual, a human being, to manage that vehicle to properly maneuver it into that location where it needs to go.
Well, I also
I
worry
tell you,
about sort of like the GPS wanting to take you where there isn't any road anymore. You ever had a GPS take turn here and there's no place to turn and stuff
oh,
like
of
that?
course,
And the
yeah. I
computer would
mean,
do that regardless.
I've got, yeah, and that's another thing. You have to, that's, that So that is. I'm back. Sorry, I had somebody who's calling me when I
Well, that's
that I
okay.
told them not to. Um, that is a situation to where you have a person that is. This. Let's just give it to you like this. I don't believe that automation could do something like me going into Chicago, going to a Target store, which I actually, can't stomach. That I actually did do years
I'm
ago.
not a fan of Target.
No, I don't shop at there's crappy stores. I never shopped at there's crappy stores. I've been in their
Well, they
crappy
did the whole
stores.
trans stuff too. They were pushing that crap for a while.
Yeah, I'd see that just kind of reassured me to think
Tuck-in
that,
underwear and all that kind of stuff. Your guys can show
yeah,
their penises. Little
a bunch of pedophiles. That's all they
yeah.
are. God, it's just what they are. They're pedophiles. Um, but I went into Chicago, and in Chicago there is a Target there that is in a high rise, and to be able to deliver the goods, you have to back into a elevator, and you go
Like,
up
is it a
several.
truck elevator?
Yeah,
Oh, it takes a whole
yeah.
tractor trailer up. Oh, okay.
You back the whole truck into this elevator.
I bet you it's a tight fit.
It actually can accommodate 3 semis at a time,
Wow.
and you back into this. It goes up several stories high. You drive out, and it goes onto a landing, and
Okay.
then you go into the dock doors, and then
Oh,
you got to back into the
how do the
elevator.
illegals handle doing that? They would have no clue what they're doing.
I don't believe that they. I think that they avoid those,
Okay.
and
They
they
would get
do
lost.
they do enough damage as it is. So I mean, but to do those types of maneuvers and to do those types of things, you really you got to have a skill, and you have to have a desire and a love for what you do, and you just can't assume that you're going to give somebody who just got out of 2 week school right after the government pays 47 to 60 or 43 to $67,000 for the subsidy,
Wow.
and give these kids and these people, not really necessarily all of them are kids. We're talking about some 40, 50-year old, 50, 55-year-old guys that are getting into these trucks, and I think that they forgot that they're not still driving their wife's Honda. Um, and you're not going to send those kind of people into those types of positions. Yeah, I tell you, I mean, this company that I'm with now, they have a bad reputation, and they have their own crash test dummy. Uh,
Bad reputation is in terms of a lot of accidents.
Accidents, screw ups,
Oh, see, other
getting
drivers.
stuck.
So they're trying to
Yeah,
improve their look by having you drive and people like yourself, right?
I have this company has already bombarded me. They constantly ask me. I'll get multiple different phone calls from different people on the corporate side already, wanting me to consider on training people and things. And I was
Oh,
like,
okay. So they haven't got that many good drivers, huh?
no, not really. To
Mm,
be perfectly honest with you, they have like 4,600 different drivers in this company.
wow.
And to give you a prime example, I have my
Looks like
own
they gave you a pretty
personal.
good truck to drive.
Well, I chose the truck,
Okay.
and I told him, I said I wanted to pick my own, uh, and because this is a major investment, um, and I wanted something that was good, clean, and low mileage, um, and something I could have probably paid off about 2.5 years. I didn't want to go in for
Oh, you're
5 or
getting to
6
own this
years.
trunk, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't want to
cool.
go in for 5 or 6 years.
Well, that'll give you something when you retire. You can sell and use that as retirement money, right?
Well, I mean, I could do that. I could do whatever I wanted with it, or I
Or
could
store it,
actually
drive
convert.
for.
I know some guys that's turned them into RVs, and they hold up traffic for everybody else.
Well, someone once said something about that you should have two drivers and you take turns driving. One sleep while the other one drives. You can make a lot
Team
more money that
driving,
way. Does that work well?
team driving, team driving is, it's okay for some.
If you're husband and wife
Um,
or something, that probably works good, right?
it's a taster's choice thing. I mean, I can't, to be honest with you. Uh,
Oh, you have to read chat after we're done.
I don't.
Uh,
I don't like to do teaming. As a matter of fact, my experience with teaming lasted for about 3 weeks.
oh wow.
When I first
Depends on
started
your
getting into
teaming.
trucking, I was forced to have to do. They told us at the very first company is that you need to pick now on who you're going to team with. Which
Yeah.
we had no intentions to team. We had none. None of us had intentions to team. But they were insisting that we team, so we needed to pick somebody, or they were going to pick for us, and it could be anything or anybody. And when I mean anything, I mean there was
Yeah.
some things even back then. And I
Hmm.
was like, "Oh hell no,
If you're a
I'm
team,
not
though,
going
you got to have
to.
one boss, though, one that decides what load you're going to take or something.
I'm not going to have somebody to decide that this young black girl is going to be my teammate while my wife is
Oh,
sitting at home.
you want to pick your own, yeah. Yeah, I
I'm
got you
not
there.
doing that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I was like, no, we're not doing that. I'm not having the weird dude, in my truck while I'm trying to sleep
Yeah.
and then,
You got
wake
to
up
trust
to
them,
something.
too, you know?
Yeah, you got to
You got to
trust
trust
them.
their driving as well.
Well, that's another scary thing too. That was one of the things that I quickly learned. I was like, nope, can't do this teaming stuff. I woke up one time on my head because this
They
guy,
just,
he was used to driving dump trucks. And when
uh,
you drive a dump truck, you goose the brakes, right?
yeah.
You're like literally goosing on the brakes.
Oh, okay.
And I woke up and because I was always gradual on my brakes. I saved my brakes. I
Yeah.
could run over 1,000,000 miles on brakes.
Coasty,
And
coast to there, and yeah.
and
Everybody,
and so this guy, he goosed the brakes one too many times, and I was sound asleep. In that 3 week period of time, he dumped me out on the floor. And I said, dude, what is wrong with you? What the
yeah.
hell is so much of a need for you to hit the brakes so hard?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm used to driving dump truck. Dude, you're not driving a dump truck, you're driving an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, and those take longer to stop and stuff, too.
Well, believe it or not, is that a dump truck can actually weigh just as much as what one of these things do.
If they're loaded, yeah, I think, right?
Yeah, if they're fully loaded. If you got a triaxle or a quad axle, I mean, you can be way up there in weight, 40, 42, 43 ton.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, I mean, but the way that they drive them is different than what you drive, and especially you have to have some consideration with the person that's sleeping in the truck. And so I learned from, like I said, I learned from a very short period of time, a very early time in this industry is that teaming is not something for me.
Yeah.
There's only two people that I know that I would ever allow for myself to be in a team truck, and that one guy, he's 86 years old right now. He still knows how to be able to drive a truck like a dream. He's done it for 65
Well,
years.
at that age, would there be a problem of falling asleep driving or anything? At
No,
86?
no, no.
Oh, he's
This
still
guy is this guy is like Donald Trump. Okay,
oh, okay.
he's all with it. He's very healthy, um, extremely
Active,
healthy, active,
brain's all
witty.
there.
Yep,
Good.
everything. I mean, he's great.
Jerry
think
is
you'll
good.
be driving much past, say, 65, 70?
I've had triple digit trucks and I've went triple digit numbers. Um, the
No, I'm
work
talking
that
about
you
your
do,
age.
do what?
Your age. Do you think you'll be driving past 65, 70?
I don't put a number on it for how long that I'm actually going to continue to do this.
Yeah.
I would like, our daughter is 15, and I would probably venture to say is that after she gets to a point at a certain age, I would like to have Heather to come out on the road
Won't
with
drive with
me.
you. Your daughter?
Well, not drive. No, not drive. I can't
Really?
get Heather to try to be able to get out more than a 50-mile radius of where we live.
Oh, okay.
she's not she's not the type that she likes to get out much.
Okay.
Um, very far. She knows how to be able to do it, but she really doesn't like it. She actually just cringed when I told her one time when my
Is she
truck broke down.
learning to drive a car yet, or?
Oh yeah. She's been driving cars ever since she's been a young girl, but driving outside, she's a homebody. She likes to not
Travel.
uh, she doesn't drive long distances, and she can. And just recently, when I had that other truck breakdown in Evansville, down at the tip of Indiana, Evansville, Indiana,
Mhm.
I was 157 miles away. I left that morning, and it broke down at the dock down in
Oh, don't
Evansville.
you hate that?
And so she had to drive 157 miles to come and get me.
Well, that's not
And I
real
told
far
her
though. That's like
it
2 hours,
was
2.5 hours.
It was a long, yeah, but it was a long drive for her because she just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, I know, I get it, I understand that you don't like to do this, but I'm
Mhm.
stuck, and since I'm that close,
Mhm.
I don't know how long it's going to take. It took almost a month for that truck to be fixed,
Wow, that's a long time.
and then we had to make the drive back, right? So
She
I
had to
drove
take you
back,
back and then drive home from
and
there,
then
right?
she had to drive home.
Yeah.
So
There's no pushing those trucks by yourself. You can't push that truck, and you can't really
no,
tow it. You can't hook it
no, you
onto with a
can't.
car and tow it.
You're right. You
Yeah.
can't. I mean, and but now, Jerry, I tell you, I mean, we've got a long way to go. Like I said, I mean, I think that I
Yeah,
think
someone
that
asked about predictions.
I
Do you
think the
think
truth,
Trump's going to be able to clean this up and get these drivers off the road, or because all the states are really resisting him, all the blue states especially?
like I said, uh, have you had kids?
Oh, I have one. Yeah, he's
Okay,
42. My wife can only have one because of her health. I
okay,
wanted more.
all
She
right.
has a
So
bad heart.
when you have when you every child does this.
Hmm.
When your child
This gets me
uh,
thinking.
gets too stubborn, or
Oh,
they
okay.
just you can tell when they just don't want to do what you told them to do,
Yep.
then you got to be a little forceful, even real forceful.
Yeah.
I said you're
They're gonna
going to
use
do this.
lawfare to try to stop it, though. They're gonna try to
You
go to
know,
courts and
they can go to courts all they want.
well,
When you're in
it
violation
slows things
of
down. It puts holds on stuff.
when you're in violation of the law, I'm in charge. I said do it,
I
and
think some
I
of
meant
it's.
it.
I think some of the cases are going to end up in front of the Supreme Court. I bet you, especially for like California and New York and those
The
places.
Supreme Court is not the arbitrator of the rule of law.
Well,
That's where everybody has made this mistake. You don't get the final damned answer from the Supreme Court.
well, they get to
You get
decide what is
guidance.
law and what's not law.
You get guidance from them,
Yeah,
but they
guidance.
are not the ones who make the law.
Oh, they're not making it. No.
No, but everybody has this misconception to think that they have to wait for the decision. I've heard Trump talk about this, which is it's absurd.
Hmm.
Trump knows that he has the full authority to make it enforce and to carry out those orders, or you are in contempt of my order of law.
That and some of his agencies, the heads of his agencies that do the traffic.
He is overseen by
All of that.
all of them.
Yep.
He's the one who controls every tentacle of all of the agencies in the federal system.
I agree.
And underneath that goes to the state, and then from the state down to the local. And he's the arbiter of all. He's the one that is the chief executive. He is the one and only. There is nobody higher. Whatever that the chief executive, the chief law enforcement of the executive branch of the federal government in the United States of America, he is the one who can tell any individual what needs to happen and when it needs to happen. And now.
Well, I'm hoping it happens
he's not showing that authority yet. And I wish that
he might
would.
be gone in 3 years, and you might get another Democrat back in there, and then all hell's going to break loose then.
I'm telling you, see, I've said this 1,000 times now. I'm just trying to be able to bring warning that President Trump has the full authority, and I've heard everybody say that he doesn't, and all this other stuff, and it says it in the Constitution, and no, it
they're calling
doesn't.
him a king and all that kind of stuff.
No, it's that it is understood that you are to only serve 2 consecutive terms.
Right.
Not just 2 terms.
Oh, the key word there is consecutive. Yeah.
That's right, consecutive. If he is still yet in good health, and he is still sound of mind, as if he was just no different than today.
Do you think he'll challenge that and go for it?
I think that the people would actually beg him to do it.
Yeah.
I think that they would beg him to do it.
A lot of people think that he was just trolling him, saying to Trump 2028 and stuff like that. So not will he be too old at that time? I think he's got his wits with him right now still. So
Trump is like I said, Trump is like my great grandfather, 109, sound of mind all the way to the very last breath. Fully, all motor skills, everything fine.
I know some of his 97 still goes to the gym. So
exactly, the age number, the age factor, everybody's going to die at some period of time, but you don't know when. You don't know when, so you should not. You're writing off wisdom. Okay, if a person says that, oh, this person's too old,
or experience,
we need a JD Vance in there, which I still haven't fully came on board with
I'm
that.
gonna wait and see on that. He's better than most, but I don't know. Yeah, but wait and see.
Well, I'm still kind of sitting on the fence. I'm sitting on the fence because I know that he has a lot of individuals, especially one very powerful individual that stood on the stage along with him and Trump when they actually got the confirmation on election night that Trump was reelected.
Talking about his wife?
Nope, I'm talking about a very I can't. His name loofs me. But I know that
Maybe someone in chat will know.
Yeah, he's a very wealthy individual, very keen in politics.
You're not talking about Elon Musk?
No, not even. I'll have to look up the face and put a name to it because I see the face, but I can't think of the name.
Okay. Yep.
Very influential in politics.
Okay.
Very powerful man, very wealthy individual. But
is he conservative?
He has I wouldn't necessarily call him conservative, liberal, or anything. I just think that he's a very wealthy investor.
Okay. Now I
very
definitely don't know who you're
professional.
talking about because I really don't know the investors too
Yeah,
much.
a very well diverse individual that makes good decisions on investments, and individuals are his investments as well. So when you have special interest and you're lobbying individuals, it's very odd that the very same individual that was against Trump,
Hmm.
and I'm not just talking J.D. Vance, I'm talking about the same individual who was on the stage, is now both of them that once were against Trump is now all for Trump. And it's kind of like the ownership of Newsmax
Hmm.
that is very heavily liberal, that is the actual owners, but
Well,
they
isn't it funny
profit
that
off
owner
of
of Fox
allowing
News
people.
was conservative, but his kids are liberal? You know, so
Yeah, I mean, you got that too. You got the fact is, so it's a charade. I don't trust. I really don't trust JD Vance. I don't trust him at all. I think that he's another. I think that he is George H.W. Bush 2.0. That's my
oh
opinion.
yeah, kind of a rhino for sure. Huh?
I think that JD Vance is as conservative as he can be able to convince somebody that he actually truly is.
He does
He's no
seem
Trump. He's no
does
Trump
sound
whatsoever.
somewhat religious. Christian. I don't know really for sure, but from what I've
Well,
heard,
that is another thing that's another thing that I'm very cautious on as well,
yeah,
is because I think that most individuals, especially in politics, that claim to be Christian,
they're just
um,
putting on a show.
I think that they believe that they are Christian, and they really don't live it. It's like what Abraham Lincoln said. About you know, if you really want to judge a man by his character, is what he does without anybody seeing what
Yeah.
he is, then
Hmm.
rather than what he's trying to portray himself to the public. And the that's the actual trueness of a person's integrity.
Mark's
And
agreeing with you.
the facts are, you know, um,
I tend to
you
go
got.
by wait and see on a lot of people. Wait and see. So
I think that a lot of people thought that they had a really great president during the time when he was running for president, and that was Baby Bush.
oh,
He was the Texan. He was he was
my
just
vote was to vote against the other guy.
yeah. I mean, but I was looking at this, and I was like, huh. I'm tired
We didn't
of
have good choices. We didn't have good choices back then.
I'm tired of being given what I'm being handed.
Yeah, it's sort of like Kamala Harris was anointed instead of actually
Oh
elected.
yeah, you talk you talk you talk about Kamala Harris. You brought that name up. Oh my goodness!
Commie Harris, as I call her, because she's
Did
really a
you see
commie.
what she said today? Did you see
No, I
what she
don't think
said
so.
today? She's considering on
Running for
running in
president?
2028.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
yeah, so
and
she's
there's
considering it,
rumors of
right?
her either with Crockett or AOC. AOC's
Yeah.
got a lot of money,
Don't forget
lot of money from
Newscomb.
the left.
You got to have Newscomb in there too.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Well,
no. But
I think
here's the
Newsom will
funny
be.
point.
I think Newsom's going to pick some black lady, and then because they got to do their DEI type of elections.
I thought that wasn't Harris supposed to be black now or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, she's Indian,
Um,
I think actually.
or
Well,
I mean, well, yeah, well,
and her
yeah, she is.
grandparents were slave owners, so
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, are you Indian now, or did you go back to being Indian,
yeah, there you go.
or did you put your collard greens back in your,
Yeah, there you
I
go.
I'm kind of wondering, one of the two.
Yeah.
So anyway, what she said was, I heard her say this earlier before I came on, and I
Yeah.
just about laughed my rear off.
and it was funny. It was hilarious because
Yeah,
I was like, "You
this, guy,
just did not
this time
say
they're
that."
actually going to have to run a primary.
I was
So,
like, "You just did not just say that." And I quote, this is what this woman said. She says, when she was asked
mhm.
if she had the possibility to think that she could actually win in 2028. And she says, and I quote, I feel it in my bones. And I about lost it because the fact is that lady, Willie Brown, and all of the other things that you probably have felt in your bones
Mhm.
is just this start. So I seriously doubt that you would be able to understand or even tell the difference between what is in your bones, let alone the fact is you even thinking that you have the moment of opportunity to ever become president of the United
She
States.
still owes money from the last $1 billion of campaign.
Exactly. I mean, how's she working that off? I mean, the fact is, I mean, how many knee
Favors.
pads has she actually worn out, at Harbor Freight? I mean, I just got to know. I mean, maybe that's the reason why I can't find any to be able to act, because I like to have my knee pads sometimes if I have to get underneath the truck or whatnot. So I don't want to get my knees hurt or anything like that. So I wear knee pads sometimes if I have to get underneath the
Well,
truck. But
I do
there was a,
construction, so I put floors in and
yeah,
stuff sometimes. So I
yeah.
know.
So I was worried because I was like, okay, well, she owed $1.5 billion back to the DNC for actual legal fund because it was
Wow.
legal. She had to pay it back, right? Well, she's paying it back. I don't know where she's getting the money to be able to actually pay it back.
I'm hoping a lot of them go to jail that they're looking at right now doing, like Bolton and all them and Fannie Willis and all them. I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
hoping it'll happen
they
quick
can
enough. I
do
think
it.
they'll drag their feet out until someone can pardon them. So, and you still have Tina Peters in jail, but that's a state charge. That's the problem. You can't pardon her. You know.
Well, they can the federal system, and if you heard Bondi talk, and
Mhm.
I've said this 1,000 times, if a state charges a a potential criminal, it's
Mhm.
been a person that's being charged with something, accused of something,
Yeah, they're doing the right
anything,
thing actually in this case.
anything. They could be charged with anything. Now, here's the secret that people don't want to admit. The federal government, Bondi, Cash Patel, has the authority to be able to charge you. Now, whether or not that it may stick or not, I don't know.
Mhm.
But they could actually create a charge, no differently than the way that they did with Jack Smith against Trump.
Yep.
Okay? They could create a charge, a federal charge, to anyone for any cause. If you got pulled over for jaywalking, or if you got pulled, not jaywalking, you didn't get pulled over, but if you got pulled over for speeding, and the federal government really wanted to actually go after you and get you, they could be able to charge you with some
Make up
created
something
crime.
if you get the
That
right grand jury or whatever. That they hate
Yeah.
you. You do it in downtown DC, they'd convict me of anything. Like
What was the fact is that you can indict a ham
I
sandwich
mentioned, yeah, in DC,
in anywhere,
yeah,
anywhere. Any citizen can be indicted federally for any cause that the federal system deems to see fit.
yeah. You have no defense in a grand jury,
Yeah.
so
And you are now, and this is the corruption of our judicial system, is because they are the
using
burden
it
of
as a weapon
proof.
now. They use it against Trump.
They're,
I
they
also
are
hear
the
from the
burden of
left all the
proof.
time. So many convictions, rape convictions, and all this. They say that
Well,
about Trump all the time. And
it, it's
you
their
get tired
burden
of
of
telling them it
proof.
was all bullshit.
It's their burden of proof to prove you're guilty. And in most circumstances is that you have to fight for your innocence when in reality you shouldn't have to do anything. They're the ones that should already have the knowledge and the proof and the evidence to show your guilt. But they don't. But they make it to where you have to actually fight for your own defense when it is not the process. That's not the rule of process. And this is where the corruption and the lack of knowledge of
A lot
knowing
of these
what
DAs
the
are
actual
corrupt.
laws are.
A lot of these DAs are so corrupt and left wing and everything. A lot of them, Soros back, that got voted in. And this and that.
Yeah, because they're not there for
They're picked.
the purpose of the actual position that they hold.
No.
They're there for the behest of the individual who is owning them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. They, and you can be able to stop that if you demand it and you say, enough, get out.
Well, we got to kick them out, and there's some judges that ought to go to jail, as a matter of fact.
It's going to come down to the point to where, the innocence of somebody who should have never been murdered, assassinated, that was Charlie Kirk. And you're going to start seeing these leftists, you're going to start seeing these lawbreakers
I kind of think
that
they let that happen.
hold their positions. You're going to start seeing these people being violently taken out. That's what you're going to start to see. You're going to start seeing Antifa start being knocked off. And the one thing about it is that it's going to happen, and it's not going to be known ever from who does it. Because these people know that if they go to the authorities and say, I did that, it was me, and I need to have a lawyer, and I want to prove in court of why that it actually happened or something like that, then you're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear that. You're going to see good people doing bad things to bad people who deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to see.
Yeah, it's something. You see what's going on in England, where the people are starting to really stand up there. There's a big protest.
My point exactly.
Yeah,
my point
they're
exactly.
getting out in the streets now. They are.
That's my
said,
point exactly.
We want all these illegals deported. They want them deported.
Yep.
Get them off all the money they're handing out to them. Hand over fist, they're giving them tons of money. Tons of money. And they're working the system. And that's been happening in America. So I'm not crying about their EBT cards and SNAP right now. I'm not crying about it right now.
I think that it should be cut off immediately. Every subsidy ought to be cut off immediately.
And then reevaluate them, and it should be temporary and all that kind of stuff.
No temporary, no nothing. It's done. It's over. The reason why we're $37.8 trillion in debt because of lazy people who has gamed the system, and the individuals that have been on the money press from your political positions of power has created
get back to
this
the family
debt.
unit. There's too many families separating and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Family
Go
unit.
back to your churches. Start feeding each other.
Yeah.
Go back to your churches. Start feeding each other. Start taking care of your friends. Start taking care of your family. Stop putting a money stop on everything when you know for a fact is that at some point in time you're going to need it. You're going to need a little extra help.
Now during the shutdown, Trump can get rid of some of these programs.
Why not help somebody when you know you could?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm slowly but surely I'm starting to come back, right?
Yeah.
So I have a certain certain amount of revenues that I have to be at before I start helping
sometimes
somebody.
You got to be. It's like
before I start helping it,
pushes the little birdie out of the nest at some point, right?
Well, I like I was saying, I have a certain level of revenue that I have to be at a certain line. For however long that it is, and if I start seeing a graduation before I start
sharing my wealth to others, right? So, but by my choice. So one of them that I have, on not every week, but occasionally, and when I can, and when it was the right thing to do, and I was helping out Phoebe, Violent Vixen 29,
Mm-hmm.
and so it'd be whatever amount. I'm not going to say the amount because I don't think it's
Unfortunately,
right to
I'm
be able
not.
to say.
Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to help hardly anyone. Being on
Right. So
Social Security.
I know that in recent times I understand what happened to her,
Mm-hmm.
and so these things cost money. If you're doing this regularly and you got to pay for all these fees and everything that you got to do, apparently I'm not on that end. I don't know what you guys have to pay. I know it's a lot. I know that you,
Well,
Charlie, and everybody.
StreamYard was expensive. That's why I'm doing this on Rumble, but it does knock you off more often. I do get to. What I was doing in the past is I was using StreamYard and I'd stream it, then I'd restream it, play it live again on several other platforms to get it to all the platforms that way. Now I'm just doing them
Right.
all at once and then a little uploading and that. So,
Well, I try to do my
you,
best,
it's
and
like
I.
400 and almost $500 to use StreamYard, to send it to those things, So,
Yeah,
and I'm not
exactly.
in a
So
very good position to do much of anything. Like I said,
you know,
because of my stroke,
I
I
think
retired at 65. I was at 65 in 1 month, and I was going to go to like 68, 70, before I wanted to
no.
retire.
I was talking. I am very good friends with for years now with my financial advisor at Merrill Lynch through Chrysler,
Same here, Pat.
and he told me years ago, and I'll give you an example. The instant that you can be able to draw it, do it, and at the earliest age, at the earliest time, do it. Don't wait. That is not going to pay you back. You will break and you will make less by the end of your likely lifespan than rather taking it at the moment that you can be able to start drawing it.
Oh,
And I took his advice, and amongst other different things,
depends how many
he.
years past 65 you live, on the
Well,
Social
yeah, I
Security
mean,
thing.
we're at now. Men, what is it? Men is 76.
My goal's 200 years old.
Well, if
I'm hoping to.
you have the
I'm
right
trying.
machine, if you got the right AI, I guess you could be able to actually get a machine to be able to hook you up.
No, I don't want to lose my memories in my life. I've had a lot of good memories: softball, wrestling, sports, all that stuff. A lot of memories in my life. I was very
Right.
good at sports, and I was very good at coaching, and I had a lot of championship teams, and I had a lot of memories. I don't want to lose them because when you go, you're going to lose all your memories. I think, So when I was
Keeping
laying
yourself
there dead,
active,
I thought that was gone. So
keeping yourself active, regardless whether you've had these setbacks.
mhm.
My dad had a
I'm about
series of what they call
99.5%
mini
back.
strokes. My
But
dad had a series of mini strokes over the years.
I had the one big one.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
big one.
and so the mini strokes are just as detrimental as anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
it hurts his
and
memory, right?
uh, slowly, but he regained it. He fought. He got it back. And so
Everyone's
it's the
agreeing with you.
fight.
Take the
It's the
benefits
fight.
as soon as possible.
I watched somebody. I watched him fight. You know, and it was a different kind of fight. It was a battle of himself, and and he won, and he won. You can win if you put anything to mind. You can win.
You can
So
relearn. Like when I woke up, I
regardless
was
about what you're now, doesn't mean that it can be there. That same issue, that same adversity is going to still be there tomorrow
when I
if
woke
you
up, I
fight
couldn't
for it.
move my right side. Nothing on
Yeah.
my right side was working. I couldn't see out of
So
my
you
right eye.
fought for it. So
I
you fought
I, I
for it.
made things move again. I
Yeah.
relearned to do that stuff. Your brain can relearn to do stuff.
You sure can. You have the will to make yourself do it. My
Yeah.
my oldest
It doesn't happen
brother,
like that. It took me about 9 days, and they started getting things going again and stuff. So
my oldest brother that was in the service, he was 2 years away from getting his 20, and if it wasn't for Governor Perry at the time, then he would have been screwed from the federal government and the military um, for getting his 20 in. And he has he didn't have any motor skills. He was hit on a motorcycle, left for dead. On his way to work, he was a second lieutenant in the Army. Prior to that, he served 10 years as a Marine. Um, and after he was left for dead, he died 3 times out on the highway. They revived him, and he's still alive to this day.
Mhm.
And he had zero motor skills, zero. He has fought to where he is actually, and he can still make himself move and take 3 or 4 steps, make himself move.
I bet you it'll get even better over time.
I he fights every day, but there is limitations because of a lot of skeletal damage and muscle damage that actually happened with somebody who they never even caught. They never caught this person.
I wanted to answer Pat, and Pat, what they did is they went in through my groin, and they took a big clot out of my brain. It was like a golf ball. It looked like it on the scanning thing.
Yep.
And they had to break it apart. Like took 4 hours to take it apart in pieces. Big clot that went to my brain. They didn't use the clot busting things to thin my blood and all that. They had to take the clot out. So
Yeah.
I was answering Pat. So they thought that they just put you on blood thinners, and in this case, it was way too big and too massive that hit my brain. So,
Right.
and if they do that without taking it apart, those clots can dislodge and go to different parts of your brain.
Sure they can. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
lucky.
Well, I think that the proper word is that blessed.
Yeah, my wife thinks that my mom and dad had died. And they were angels and looking down over me.
Well, if you keep them in spirit and you keep them acknowledged.
Yeah, I miss them. Miss them
My
dearly.
my dad told me, my dad told me, he said, "I'll never leave you," and I believed everything that he ever said because he never lied to me ever. And I can tell you now, with a surety, without a doubt, that I don't know whether or not that it's a little bit of both. I don't know whether there's times to where it's either God Himself or maybe my dad or both.
We were ridiculously poor, but they were very good people.
Yep. Yeah, so was my dad. My dad wasn't an extremely rich man. He wasn't. He was. He retired from General Motors. My mom was an RN for 43 years. In pediatrics. And I never wanted for anything, but I wasn't handed everything.
I hope so,
Um,
Pat.
but my experience is that I know for a fact that my purpose has not been.
You're freezing, cutting out a little bit. Are you still there? Oop, I think I lost him. We'll give him a minute and see if he came back. Well, anyways, the funeral procession for my dad, especially my mom too. My dad's funeral procession was miles long. So many people from the town came out. They were very well liked. My dad, even when he was poor, would help people out and fix something for them if they didn't have money for a farmer or a tractor and stuff like that. So we'll wait a few seconds here to see if he can come back on. If he doesn't, I'm going to end this anyways because it's kind of long. Sorry we got Gavin for a long time, everybody. Hopefully I made a good Sunday night for you. Okay, maybe his battery died in that. So, and we end up just telling stories in that. So, all right, take care, everyone. God bless. Bye bye. Wonderful night.